In harmony, I think we're being set up for something very serious and very big by some very powerful secret societies that very well could have extraterrestrial or otherworld intelligence guiding it. All over the world, we have accepted the authority as truth rather than truth as the authority.
Truth seekers! Hey, it is Friday night, and I want to welcome you here to Truth versus Authority, where authority is their weapon and truth is our weapon. But either way, I want to bid you good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the 24 time zones that this show airs, and I have something to share with you. We're going to make a big promise to be the boldest, baffling, belligerent YouTube channel in the world, creating captivating conversations that'll certainly cause controversy. A little backstory, I'm located in a jumbo state. This is where those UFOs come out to play the Texas thing, y'all. Tonight, we're going to be talking about what do those reptilians use, which we know as humans, but why? The food. Yep, food. Okay. Once again, this is not PG, so put the kids to bed. If you have not fixed dinner, let me give you a quick Texas recipe. You can try some bacon, some biscuits, some butter. Yeah, you talking breakfast, dinner? Yes, absolutely. It works just fine. But either way, I'm excited because I got a lot of energy, period. I'm wearing the new gear, and I'm going to announce the name of our owl tonight for all of you, and pretty much. Anyway, let me get the music down and let's get into our conversation and pretty much. But I hope you've had a great week, and we're going to take this on to the weekend. All right, now, okay, here we go. Let me get my notes out here. All right, so what's going on, everyone? And I will say that once again, when you start thinking about reptilians and we think about, are they real? Does it exist? I think we have done enough content here to go to the point that there is some type of entities or deities or whatever you want to call them that is ruling or controlling or maybe manipulating the human race. And it's been in books, it's been in stories, it's been told throughout the ages that there is some type of manipulation going on. Now, we talk about the Illuminati when we go into this. We can talk about, of course, the mind control and all of this stuff. But there is a deal. This stuff is all connected. It's just connected, period, because it is. It just simply is connected. So anyway, hope everything is going all right with you guys. I'm going to say hello to some of you here in the chat here in just a few moments. Give out a quick few announcements that I need to do real fast. But either way, for those of you who was in the uncensored area yesterday, we had a great conversation and we talked about some stuff. And then you all heard some of the new things that are going to be coming out in the future in that area. So definitely I want to thank you, and I'll give a shout out to you all in just a few moments. But anyway, it is Friday, and like I said, we got a few people in the house. Our godmother of the channel is here as well, Body Electric Supplement, which is one of our moderators. M. Thomas Maya is one of our moderators. Ghost Cove is one of our moderators, is in the house as well. So give a shout out to our mods, and let's kind of look at what we're going. Yep. So the shirt is Truth is our weapon and authority is theirs. Got our little owl right here on the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? We got the little brand working and pretty much from there. But anyway, we'll announce in just a few seconds the name of this bad boy and our brand for the future of what we're doing here and pretty much. And yeah, we played around with a few things, but either way, it's kind of cool. All right, so first question for any of you. And then also, if you got your cameras tonight and your microphone or headphones, because you got to have some headphones because I don't want the reverb to come back in. You know, I think a lot of times we have to understand we're doing a production here the best way we can. But I may want to have some of you come up, but we're talking about reptilians tonight. All right, that is Friday night reptilians. I don't want to deviate from that. We can go as deep, we can go questions, we can go whatever. I will bring you up and out. I won't have anyone stage squatting unless you are now going to be the new next host of the show. You know, and hey, somebody can somebody can say, hey, I got this on Friday. Roderick, take off tonight and go to the movies or some shit, right? Or whatever. But either way, we pretty cool. Our researcher Jen is in the house, so y'all give her a shout as well. And then, like I say, I'll give a shout out to a few of you. Someone said I just ate some tofu. Oh, I said tough food, right? Okay, y'all know how I roll with this thing. All right, so first of all, let's go. Reptilians. We do know that. First of all, do you all believe reptilians exist? Let's just give me some people in the chat, because I need to know who I'm talking to tonight. One, that you believe there exists. Two, maybe. And three, hell no. That you just don't believe it, that reptilians exist. So let's just kind of give a little tally of the audience here, and so we can see where we are with the reptilian theory before we talk about the reptilian agenda. All right, so all right, we got some yeses. All right, so but the ones, I need some ones. It'll be a lot easier. Ones, twos, maybe, and then of course threes, like hell no is a three. All right, so all right, we have a bunch of ones and some maybes and a couple of twos, but so far no threes. You know, meaning we're a little skepticism here. That's cool. Skepticism is great, and pretty much from there. All right, so when we get this idea of is there reptilians, and we got a bunch of ones. You know, I get it. Y'all chopping it up tonight. That is good, because let me tell y'all something, people. They are here. These reptilians do exist, and they're around. And make no mistake about it, that from David Icke's teaching all the way back to Jordan Maxwell, who talks about there's deities and entities and everything else, back into historic, ancient civilizations, ancient texts, books, all roads lead back to some type. Now, I know it's hard to believe that we have a lizard type being to walk around bipedal, and then also drive machines, think, use, and do things like we do, right? And it's hard to fathom that. And I think that's where a lot of people get kind of. But when you go back to the movie Star Wars, you know, when they made that scene where they all was in this bar, and you see all these creatures, 1 eye, 6 eyes, and blue and green, and it was just like, hey, man, an alien or extraterrestrial could look like anything. It just don't have to look like us, and pretty much. So we have to assume that those are the things that are really happening when it comes down to this. Now, the question was for tonight, and even leading into the show, was why do they use humans for food? You know, why do reptilians use humans for food? And well, because they need to eat. Solved that riddle, didn't we? No, you know, the other part is, why are we their food? That's really the question. We're their food because they need the energy. If you go back to the movies, The Matrix, and you go back to a lot of these things that kind of explains how the body itself is the electricity or energy, white energy, or whatever they want to call it. And you go back to that movie, The Matrix. Remember, they was talking about the machines when the humans decided, okay, we're going to knock out solar energy so that the machines don't survive. So they tried to blanket out the sun, right? And all those things. But then all of a sudden, the machines figured out, wait a minute, a human body, especially young bodies, carry more energy than we need, you know, so let's just harvest babies. And then at this point, we can have all unlimited energy from these humans. Well, that wasn't just a fairy tale within that movie. That was part of someone giving us a message of who and what we are, and also how we are in this particular world, you know, or what I say construct of where we are today. So why wouldn't we then look further for those of you who says, I don't know about that, that we think further that the fact that, we could be just energy level. Now, the problem with this is what kind of energy? And that becomes a problem because we as human beings, we're putting off all kinds of energy, positive energy, negative energy. You hear people all the time, I don't feel your energy, or I don't like the energy, or whatever. I don't know if they can actually feel it, or you just kind of like, or whatever, but that'll be another question for you. Do you, when you're around someone, do you feel their energy? Do you feel when a person that is sitting across the room, there's maybe somebody you're in a relationship with that you're in tune with, can you know how this person is feeling based upon the vibe and the energy that they give you without them saying a word, without them doing anything, just sitting there? Can you pick up on this energy, whether it's positive, negative, or whatever? And Jarrell says most definitely. So here we go. So the point is, then it makes sense, the fact that if we can do it on a human level, then definitely there's something probably bigger to that, so that when you're thinking about on a more bigger level, can we be used as energy and everything else? So we know when we talk about all these secret societies and cults and rituals, they're always after a person's energy. Now, we have dark energy, right? We have the energy of darkness and negativity and all these things. And so therefore, why would the reptilians, and now let me kind of unveil this, the reptilians like energy. They want negative energy. So then the story has always been that we in some type of this construct, and by us keep producing this negative energy that they call loosh, that's what they call it, loosh. A loosh is our energy, that they can feed off of it. But now as I've gone deeper, and we've gone deeper, or if I've gone deeper, it's not just the reptilians, parasites or parasitic type entities that feed off the people's energy. And that is something really profound, because you hear it all the time, dark energies. So is it possible that when you hear people say you want to just raise your energy, you want to walk around the house singing Kumbaya all day, or bouncing, singing the mistletoes, or during Christmas, or wherever you feel that the energy should be high? Is it something else? Now, we can take it to a human level. How many of you been intimate with somebody with negative energy? You be like, no, I ain't you. I don't feel you tonight. Or I don't feel like giving you any tonight. You get what I'm saying? The energy. But when they do the right thing and get that energy up, then everything is popping. It's cracking, lacking, right? Whatever the word we want to use. But put the kids to bed. I told y'all. All right. So, but the whole point I'm saying is that it's all based on energy. Now, if this the case, now we get into the area of the demonic stuff, right? Because now the demonic energy, I don't think we have a positive demon, do we? Is there some good demons out there? I mean, we're using the word demon. Does it matter? Is a demon a demon? Is it demonic a demonic? Is there another word for a good demon? Somebody tell me. I know you're enlightening people out there. Why negative energy and not positive energy? We'll get to that in just a few minutes. So, is there good demons, so to speak, right? Well, I want to classify the word demon. So is there good demons, bad demons, or all demons demonic? Is it all bad, or whatever? All right. So when we start thinking about why negative energy, I don't know exactly the rate, but however, obviously negative energy is more powerful than positive energy. And it's probably why it's so easy for people to give off that energy that they want. Now, when we start thinking about the conspiracy of stuff, when it gets down to this, then a positive person actually have power. Positivity heals. Positivity, or can lift spirits. Right? Positivity has a whole different vibration, and it would make sense for someone. And if that was the case, then I would think that everything you see around here will just be positive. The whole world will be positive if they can live off of that. But obviously, it's something about our negativity It's something about that vibration, the power of the negativity. Now, we can say this, that we've seen people on a more natural state, exude extreme strength and stuff under negativity. We even never seen anybody just so happy and move a fucking car, right? We've seen somebody really sad and feeling awful and lift up the car off their kids, or we've seen some stuff, but you just don't see nobody just happy as fuck and say, I'm just going to go walk over here and just push down this big boulder. But through negativity, and it's almost like every coach, every boxer coach, every person getting mad, think of the why, even motivational speakers, make a why to make you cry, to pull it out of you. You know what I'm saying? Think about the pain, think about the hurt, think about the suffering. So obviously somebody thinks, or the world feels, that the negative side, or adrenaline, is one of the things that fuels more than positive energy. I would assume, and again, if you go back to how you've been taught, all of us, at some point, draw off the negativity. You hear people say, I was successful in life because of the stuff I went through, all the negative and all that. Rarely, you might hear somebody telling their story that, oh, my life was great and positivity, the stories, but yet we try to look for the good stories. Negativity fuels, is in the media, is all of this. So why wouldn't it be part of the system that once these entities figured it out, that we can feed off of this? And now that gets that recipe of why keeping us in the lower states, keeping people in the lower states, of mind and physicalities and all of that stuff. So I would assume that that's the reason. That will probably be the reason. So real quickly, Body Lecture said, Buddhist monks do not need to be angry to do incredible things. Well, and you know what? That's because they probably figure out a way how to channel positive energy, or how to take negative energy and channel it into positive energy. It's all about that. Negativity is the most power on the material plane, scale says. So it just get to a point. What I'm saying is that these reptilians, now let's get back into reptilians. First and foremost, one would have to start doing some history checks to really grasp the idea that there is a reptilian entity here. If now, me being a ufologist, me being a UFO investigator, me being, featured on the History Channel, Ancient Aliens. I've been on Gaia. I've been on Fox Tubi. I've been on Discovery Channel, Forbidden Knowledge TV. I've been on Apple TV. I'm currently now on HBO. If you want to go watch it, I'm in a TV show on HBO. And I've heard more reptilian stories than most, and they all lead down to the area of negativity, as though that this is what's happening. Now we can use the word shapeshifters. Then we go into that, and it's all about technology. Now that takes us into another realm. If it's technology that they have the ability to shapeshift, then that takes us into a whole nother world. When you think about the Truman Show, when you think about us being in this construct, when you think about there's no space, and space is water, and water is down, or as above, so below, you start thinking about all of these parables and things that people mention, then it makes you wonder, this, touching the screen real, or are we real? Are we interpreting what we're doing? Or or that saying, and maybe we're all in the mind of God, right? We're just in his mind, or him, or it, or whatever, and so it just makes those things to say, okay, that's kind of funny there. Let me put some on the screen here. Jen says, wonder if the inversion of the divinity within us, aka negative, is the inversion because the positive aligns us with the divine. Possibly so. I think that people will say that that's what they want. They want positivity, which means when we start thinking about the elites, the global elite, the reptilian agenda, then you start thinking about why we have so much negativity, why there's so much wars and stuff that's happening. Why do media? Why do we see all of this negativity that's keeping people vibrational down, bills, and now I have a statement when it comes to bills, okay? Because oftentimes, if you know anybody that you know, okay, and you probably subject to it just like I have been and everyone else, that, when we say bills, it started out with another B. It was blessing. You get a new car and you say, oh, God bless me. I got a new car, blah, blah, blah. Well, how much you paying? Oh, $600 a month. Oh, man, I'm so blessed. I've been wanting a new car. It's a blessing. In about 3 months, oh, shit, I got all these fucking bills and it's the bills. Now, how did the blessing turn to a bill? You get what I'm saying? So obviously at some point, there's a distinction between the positive energy of that car and getting it changed all the way to negativity when it's time to pay the bills. I don't know, but we hear it all the time where the blessing turns to bills, right? But it was the same exact thing. We thanking God for the blessing, but we're not thanking God for the bills. But accordingly, I would tell you what, if you got a bunch of bills, that means you have been blessed because you got bills. Obviously, you've been able to accumulate something to warrant that you owe something. So whatever. So just kind of look at the positive of it, right? Go find that moment. But at the end of the day, when you hear about these reptilians, they talk about how they're doing it. Now, I was watching a video, and I forget the name of it last week, but I have it in our archives, and I'll probably play some clips here and then put the video in our uncensored area. But the person was saying that if you can focus your eyes a certain way, it was like kind of, let's say you got a building or something in a distance. And if you can focus on that building in the distance and then kind of recalibrate your eyes to another focus area, so to speak, you can literally see the aura of those parasites around people, like on the top of them. Cars driving down the street, you'll see the black parasitic energy or sucking their energy, just like it's just following them around, and it's just attached to people and things. And they're saying that you can literally see this. And so I was going to go back and start trying to learn how to do it because they kind of walk it through. But if that's the case, it's like everything is right here in front of us in our dimension, right? And so we just have to kind of look and see how that works. And so again, but why reptilians though? Why is reptilian is probably one of the most inconceivable things that we can think of. Now, we'll be more than happy to say, oh, it's an ET, it's an alien, it's a gray looking alien, it's a tall Nordic or something. Is it because it's a when we think of reptilian, we thinking of a lizard that's, on a wall when we're getting ready to go into the house that's sitting up on a porch? Is it because we think that the lizard is primitive, that how could this be some technologically advanced race of civilization? How could it be? And I know that's something that we probably think about all the time, because you might be like, hell, shit, there's nothing have more dominion than the human race, supposedly, at some point. But if you were to stumble upon a planet and then you find that the inhabitants of this planet, that you can then drain their, not just the soul, because now we're assuming that the soul and our energy are two different things, because that soul is being reincarnated or coming back, is placed back into this body, this battery cell, and then it's producing energy, right? So obviously they're not feeding off our soul. So let's be a little different from that. In fact, why would they? Why would they feed off the soul when the soul is what they need to be put into the battery system to get their energy out? And to keep it going, you replenish it. So yeah, this human body may decay and go away, but the soul is being used again. Bring it back maybe and say, okay, we can continue down this place to continue this energy cycle or system to continue. So that's something that you can think about from there. So Dr. Strange said people who use the word blessing usually don't deserve blessings. Oh, well, all right. There's one opinion there. You all can have your own opinion there. Anyone heard about the term blessing meaning spilling of blood? I haven't heard that before. Maybe some of you have, pretty much. Every time you talk about reptilian, I think about how the reptilian brain is part of the human brain. Absolutely, Jason. Jason, absolutely. That is probably, and that is something that the scientists talk about, that we all have a reptilian brain in us. You know, we all have this reptilian side, which the reptilian brain, or whatever they want to call it. So we can look it up. And why would they use that terminology? They didn't say the gorilla brain or the orangutan brain or the spider brain or the monkey brain or well, they do say that from time to time, or fish brain, or, you know what I'm saying? Why would they use the reptilian brain as a indicator of a whole different side of things when it comes down to this? But back to what I was saying is that when it comes down to it, so let's go into some of the stories. You know, remember that was I forget the guy's name, but he saw the reptilians in a cave that they've had. Now, again, if we go back to all the ancient stories, you know, I talked about that in the past podcast where, you know, they try to go back biblically and say we had scaling skin or the Anunnaki and all of this stuff. And like I said, I'm reading a bunch of that. So we're going to get a bunch of reptilian stuff here on this channel. So make no mistake about it. You know, we are going to be the destination when people are looking for reptilian information. In fact, let me make a note. I shared a little bit the other day about a reptilian story phone call that I got, and I told them I'll share it this Friday from there. But real quickly though, yeah. So if you think about Credo, Mutwa, his story. Now the Zulu people, so to speak, was all wrapped up in reptilian. All right. I actually got that hours and hours of long video stuff, him and David Icke, where he was telling the story. And he called them the Chukawaka or something. And I'm butchering the name, but they didn't call them reptilian, but they were reptilian beings, but they had a name. But he talked about how they was interacting within the human race, but not just there or the original place in Africa. We can go all the way back to all other places that, once again, that the Dogons and all of these other people, and you go all the way to ancient Egyptian, and you can go into Mexico. You know, you have what is that, Quetzalcoatl or something, whatever, the bird reptilian god or whatever that they have. So everybody has some point in some form of fashion have depicted some type of reptilian dragons, all of these things that are in a historic, in their history when it comes down to this. So it's just one of those things that you want to, the feathered serpent. Thank you, Nick. Yeah. So when you go into this, then you're looking at that the reptilian stuff exists. But let's move over a little bit though. Let's move to the myth though. People like with their shapeshifters, Roderick, or somebody changes into a shapeshifter. I've had people walk up to me and say that they, in the way David Icke described, it's almost like a video game. It's almost like they're standing behind somebody and they're using them like a puppeteer to control that human person that we see in front of us so that they can just walk around, play games, because obviously we can't see them. You know, we can't see them with the naked eye, so to speak, of who we are. But there was another story when it came back down to Montauk, the Montauk Project, or, that particular story. There was a guy, military person or whatever, and they was talking about it in the Montauk Project, where he said that he was in the compound that they had for it, and then he looked up and down the hallway, he saw the reptilian stand up and then just closes the door. But he was wearing the royal stuff, like he had wings, but he had the royal. And these are the draconians. They try to say if there is a species, there is a royal bloodline of reptilian. Now that takes us all the way back to talking about the royal bloodline of the Illuminati, the blue bloods, and all of these things that supposedly exist, and why they do all these rituals and stuff. And if you remember, I had a guy on here named Darren, and Darren was the son of the I forget the guy's name real quickly, with the Shalites, right? It was his father. And he told the Michael Jackson story, or the Jackson story. Michael wasn't in it, but how, you know, the Jackson, their father and his aunt and his dad, his uncles, how they would do these rituals and how they would eat rats, you know, and all of these things. Now we would think, okay, that's just a prime meal for a reptilian, but then why would they need energy? Why they want dark energy when they can eat rats? I got plenty of rats, you know, in this big warehouse back there. You know, they can come over here and have a flood fest, you know, and feast. But why would they do that? So it's one of those things that you will look at when it gets down to those things. Make sure y'all hit that like button tonight, okay? Please do, and hit those. Ogre said we all have reptilian DNA in us by default, like gray Palladian DNA is in our DNA pool. Well, what's going on, Houston, in the house? So, you know, I never really did that, but tonight, when y'all get an opportunity, put where you from. I would love to know where all of you from, you know, countries, or not just countries, but if it's in the United States, where are you from and all those things. But yeah, but when you go back into you thinking about all of this stuff, again, the reptilian stuff exists, but our DNA has been spliced like 61 different times over history is what they be saying. Rashad Dallas, Sirius in Florida. Thank you. Diana is in Mission, Texas. All right. Boise, Idaho. We got Abilene in the house. All right. So we got some. Maryland is in the house. Germany, born in Siberia. Whoa, is that? I bet it was cold as screw over there. Scottsdale, Arizona, Oklahoma, Berwick, Pennsylvania. So the jumbo state, when those UFOs come out to play. That's a Texas thing, y'all. So we got Colorado in the house. So yeah, and see, and that's a wonderful thing when we know that we are all over. So Roderick, can you see my text? I did not see the Florida or Germany or Florida text. I don't know, but yeah, I read that one. So yeah, I guess we can see it. But again, yeah, we're gonna go from some stuff, and let me also let me see if I need to give out a couple of things here. Okay, we go. Oh, first of all, let me do this. This is just a quick thing. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. And if you don't have a Valentine today, I will be your Valentine. And I will be your ladies' Valentine. Okay, I will be your Valentine today. So happy Valentine's Day to you. And so what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna give you a hug right here. Just imagine the only thing missing is you right there. Okay. Hey, baby, happy Valentine's Day to you. So for all of you, if you didn't have a Valentine, happy Valentine's Day to you, from me to you. All right. So let's continue. And I bet there's a lot of you didn't have a Valentine's Day today, because this is, you know, it's just one of those things. But let me continue to get to the point of, you know, reptilian influence is everywhere. Politics, politicians, because when you start thinking about the reptilian agenda, and if their agenda is to harvest us for food and to harvest our energy for food, they would have to place minions or themselves in all the key positions to do what they need to do to make this stuff happens, right? And I think it's something that they all would have to do. And I say this to you funny. Yeah, right. So lost my whole goddamn outline from that text, Demont Gus Code. You know what I'm saying? Ain't funny. All right, let me gather it back from up here. So the whole point I'm saying is, or was trying to, that you would have to put your minions in place. You would have to put them in the place for your control. You would have to do that, right? You would have to put them in place for the control, because otherwise, they couldn't do what they do. So where would be the control points? Billionaires, political places. And if you want to control millions of people, entertainment, you would put, your reptilian shapeshifters there, or bloodlines or whatever, because we already know that they interbred with humans. So that's how we get the DNA. And like we talked about before, the 13 bloodlines, illuminati bloodlines. Now we keep using the word illuminati, but the original bloodline was all tied into extraterrestrial stuff. And make no mistake about it, we are being ruled by some stuff like that, right? These people have this information. So, but again, if you're going to be a reptilian, and you need to feed off human energy, and you need to produce the negativity, because this is called loosh. So when you got to develop this loosh, then why wouldn't you make people argue? Why wouldn't you poke things to or create things that people would get frustrated on? Now, okay, I'm a little skeptical about, they were smart enough to say we're going to create some bills, and the bills is going to cause despair, and then despair is going to create, people going into, what's the word I'm looking for? People getting depressed, right? And then all of a sudden that's going to create the energy. But I think we need to really discuss right now, what is negative energy? I don't think we all know what is negative energy. Are we really producing? We may think negative energy is just you going out there doing some bad shit, but what if there's some simplest form? So let's kind of work together there for a minute. What is the most simplest form of negative energy that's out there? Give me the most, not big thing. Just give me the most simplest thing that could be considered negative energy in your thoughts. Come on, put it in a chat tonight. The most simplest thing, because we again, we could be thinking too big. And since we're thinking too big, it's possible that you don't think that you're producing negative energy. Anger, okay, hatred. All right, so that's what I'm saying is that's a little more umbrella. Hatred can go any kind of way. Hatred for roaches, is that negative energy? You love roaches, or you hate roaches, or you don't give a damn about the roach, right? So let's go back to the most simplest thing. And I don't know what that is, but I would assume that it doesn't fall in the thing that we all think, like y'all saying, doubt, hatred, all of the sadness. But what if there's something? Dr. Strange say smoke roaches. Okay, good. But you get what I'm saying? We are looking at it from those aspects, when negative energy could be just breathing fucking air and just what they call it, soaking. Like Cat Williams say, I'm just a tiger. I'm just a real regular tiger. You get what I'm saying? Could some of the most simplest things be considered negative energy? Romantic relationships can produce negative energy. Spoken highly from, are you single, Monica? Are you a single woman? Because I would think that a romantic relationship will create all kind of fire. Is fire energy? Probably. Fire and, like all of this stuff. I don't even know. Is it even, we'll get to that a little later. But anyway, but I'm just saying is there something that we are missing? Olga said, I believe it's all about domination. But I'm just saying, talking about moaning, is that negative energy? Is moaning negative energy, Damon? You know what I mean? Is that what you're saying? Worried about financial situations? Yeah. Okay. So, Elena, if we're going to worry about financial situation and they're going to use that for food, but do we all perceive financial situations as negativity when we're paying the bills? See, because when we're paying the bills, is it positive energy now? And then do you think the reptilians is conspiring and say, okay, Elena is paying her bills, but we need to now give her a bigger bill so she can get behind on the bills to create negativity. But, nobody's walking in and giving me a $2,000 Rolls Royce to pay for each month so I can be negative. Would I take it? I'll bring that shit on. You get what I'm saying? No problem. But you get what I'm saying, that it is a little different when it comes down to that, right? And pretty much. But I'm just, because I think if we can think that we can figure out what the loosh is that these reptilians really like. Now, when we think of, how much negativity do a war creates? Okay, we know death. We know, all of the phantom, all the stuff that comes from that. But what if it's something we're missing, that they're just hanging around right now like leeches and just like negativity? Yeah, you ate some bacon this morning. You get what I'm saying? Just something that we're missing, and so we think we're not giving off negativity when we could be. You get what I'm saying, or anything else. Now, of course, we can go with anger. Yeah, we're going to go with fear. We're going to go with disgust. We can go with all of those things that we know that makes me negative or you negative when it comes down to it. And having said that, then knowing that we're their energy source, then is it why you get all these people that are clairvoyant or whatever saying, hey, in order to ascend, for ascension, we have to get into the state of love. So, unlike what Monica said, love or romantic relationship cause negativity. But I know love is just not love being together with somebody. Well, why is love supposed to be the most powerful form? Does love not create negativity or not? I don't know. And that's for all of us. Potential versus kinetic, eating McDonald's, depression. Right. So it's romantic is just from within. Maybe desire is a lower frequency. Yeah, I think it's I know it's Valentine's Day. How many of you all, male or female, I'm just asking, how many of you single, and how long you've been single, and why? Okay, because I'm going to get to a point. There was some dating app that they had that ET stuff or extraterrestrial. Everybody who's involved in this kind of stuff can get on. Does it matter if I should have been more specific. The why would be, is it because of your belief in stuff like this or not, right? But anyway, how many of you are single, and how long and why? And we'll start there, and then I'm gonna make a point about negativity from the answers. And it's not to call nobody out; it's just us doing a focus group together. You get what I'm saying? But how many? So Jason says, if I'm pronouncing that right, Jason, I don't think that's Jason, right? So Jason says, love is the force that expands our consciousness. Love is eros, feminine. Yeah. So yeah, love supposedly be the top thing, right? Love's supposed to be the top thing. So is it one of the things that the reptilians try to keep people from doing, the elites? Because it's like, if the elites are working with the reptilian people, because they are, y'all, plain and simple. And I know you might, where's the proof? The proof is in hidden, but we just go back to ancient stuff and why they cover this stuff up. And we talked about the serpent and being all of these serpent stories. But where I'm getting with that is, can't answer the single thing. All right, that's cool. Single for 4 years because my significant passed away. Sorry to hear that, and all that. And I'm too old to date now. Well, I understand. 5 years and loving it. All right. So Renee, okay. So where I'm going with this, like you see, Renee says, I'm 5 years and loving it. So that same situation that some people say being single is negativity and could be used for food. How is it that one person say, "Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving being by myself. Some me time." And don't get me wrong, we're not fit to get into that. It's not Freaky Friday, but single doesn't. Be careful. If I was trying to date somebody who was single, then I'll be asking for some real more congruent information. Single mean you just don't have a man, but I don't mean you don't have a bunch of men around, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, baby. But and I'm not talking about you, Renee, but I'm saying that's a whole nother story. But the whole point I'm saying is single and free. All right. Yeah, y'all gonna need it. I'm gonna stop that question. I'm sparking negative energy. I'm creating negative energy. Adding are you single? Hell yeah. Forget folks. I'm by myself. I've been by myself 7, 8 years. That's a long time, people. If you've been by yourself for 8, 9 years, that's a long time. And let me tell you how long that is. 365 days time. Who said 7 years? Somebody said 7. And was that what I saw? Well, I'm just going to go and use the 5, 6 years. I'm going to use a 5-year mark. That is 1,800 days. Somebody's been single. You multiply that by 24 hours. That's 43,000 hours. Okay, that's a long fucking time. And I want to multiply that by minutes so that you get the equation of how long you've been single. 2,628 minutes. Think about that when you want to go another year of being single. That is not just 5 years. We're talking 2,628 minutes of singleness, or no physical touch, maybe not. But okay, so let's get out of that. Okay, let me get out of that because that means that y'all have an opportunity for a whole new talk show. Where I'm going with the part of the reptilian is using negativity for our energy. The reason I brought that up as a relationship side, could that be one of the smallest areas of negativity? I'm not saying that you're not happy being single, but were you happy and had better energy in a loving relationship at one point in life? And is it part of the agenda to keep people so unbalanced that we can't find a love within? Because if love is the most powerful thing, and I'm not saying loving yourself is not as powerful as it, but supposedly the whole thing is love and being love and giving. Yeah, well, maybe it's two people. You get what I'm saying? So is that part of an agenda to why we have, so much power of aloneness out there? Like it's an agenda when it comes down to that. So that's why I was trying to, and it kind of got me off track a little bit, but that's why I was trying to get to a point to say, what is negativity that we don't recognize? You get what I'm saying? Because we may have this recipe for negativity, but not realizing that there's other things that is negative. Could me walking around being fluffy be negative? Okay, yeah, it's bad for your health, but they don't want me gone because they need my energy. So obviously the plan is not for me to walk over and fall over. You get what I'm saying? I would assume, because dead energy don't work, right? So but we may see it as that, but at the same time, could that same motion of me getting in better shape produce more negativity that I don't even know that exists? I'm just throwing some dumb shit out there because we can all talk about the deer in the headlights of pain, hatred, all of this stuff, and they're feeding off of that. So therefore, and what I'm saying is, and was trying to allude to, if you're not with somebody and you're not in a relationship or something, that doesn't mean that, or do you think that you're not putting off some negativity, that there's no negative, not demonic, but some energy parasite that is using all of us, or you, or anybody. You get what I'm saying? Because obviously we can't see it, but we do know it exists. But we do know, once again, loosh, if you're just joining us, is the term that the reptilian uses for energy. So tonight, I'm just twisting the mind tonight. I'm just throwing stuff out. I'm not trying to be concrete. I'm not teaching anything, and I'm not pulling at anything. I'm in a mode of just throwing something on the wall, something insidious to something stupid to something even intelligent, but it all wraps around is, what the hell is negativity? Where is the level of negativity? Because the same thing from hot and cold, we think it separates at 32 Fahrenheit, but no, that temperature is everywhere. Hot and cold is right here. You know what I'm saying? It could be 85 degrees and it turn 84. Doesn't mean it didn't just get colder, but is it still hot? So where is the form and where? Because I think once people figure that out, and we figure out that positive and try to create a world of love, which you hear a lot of the entities talk about, all the alien entities when they come, they talk about love and saying that we have some type of, we got to create this love to survive. Then that construct of love is supposed to be a little better. All right, so negativity is frequency. Well, I mean, it's whatever, right? You know, it's all of that. But again, I was just trying to throw that out there to say that, you know, it's a challenge when it comes down to that. So let me move back into the reptilian agenda. Now, supposedly the reptilian agenda could be all the way with global warming. It could be all the way with, you know, them living underground, the reptilians living underground. Everybody who said it says that's where they live. The ones that are in a reptilian, you know, form, so to speak, they live underground. Now, how could they do that? Well, underground stays a certain temperature year round. It doesn't have climate under there. This is why they got buildings and what is it? Subtropolis exist, you know, in tunnels and in systems everywhere underground. And it supposedly is the safest place to be because you're not dealing with the climate. You're not dealing with the floods unless it, you know, comes in. But if you build your thing going down and come back up, maybe you could sustain not getting flooded out, you know, by water. But obviously underground is the key of their survival. But the technology. So if they got technology to shapeshift, you know, then I think that's a little different than the fact of a vibration that we can't see. So love, low key said, love can be negative depending on who you love, and there's levels to everything. That, you know what? That was probably the point that I was trying to make. That it's all about the level of where that meter intersects, right? To go to the other way, because we just don't know. You know, I'm feeling great right now, but is that still some negativity for loosh for the reptilians to feed off of? I'm just thinking I feel great. They're saying, really, if you were in top shape, your body will be giving off electrobe, or I'm just making some words up, at a certain level. But right now, we're still feeding off of you. You may feel great, right? You walking around, all of us, we're walking around feeling great, but in their senses, it's negativity. You know, it's almost like an infrared light. You know, they can see infrared in the dark, right? And it's all generated by heat. At some point, you go cold, nobody can see you. So it's those things that makes you want to do. Make sure y'all again hit the like button if you know having any of this conversation and everything else. Today I am wearing the Truth is Our Weapon shirt. And real quickly, the name of the owl, this owl that we have here, you know, I want to go ahead and just let y'all know who he is. All right. Boom. Okay. All right. So the name of the owl, that's the website there, is Luminous. That's his name. That's the name and Luminous is the light of truth. It's us truth seekers seeing through the dark, right? We want to find truth. And there's nothing more profound than not only the owl, the knowledge, but, you know, Luminous is his name. And that is where we are with that. And I just want you to kind of know, so you know, when it comes down to that. And on the website, you know, when you all get ready. Oh, yeah, look, I forgot. There's some shirts there. As above, so below, with our luminous on it. Truth never is free. Truth never was free. That's on the left. Of course, we got our uncensored, and everybody who's in the uncensored, you got your code for damn near getting that one free. You know, make sure you go get it. Giving you an uncensored plate. You know, I gave y'all the code last night. You know, just little stuff. Of course, we got our Watchers show. And of course, we got our Reptilian Oprah there, Reptilian Puff Daddy on the left. The new shirt, Your Eyes Are Useless, Your Mind is Blind. So make sure you check that one out. It's all up and ready. We got our Truth Seeker Street Team hat and shirt. Truth, once again, there's the luminous hat. So you can definitely check that out. Truth versus Authority. And real quickly. So anyway, there's our guy Luminous again. Nocta versus. Yeah, and we just kind of go on with our color schemes and the weapons and yeah, and all of that. So let me take this off and stop sharing. But anyway, geez, how the hell did I do that? Man, y'all hold on a second. Let me find my thing. What the heck? Oh, there we go. Man. There we go. There we go. All right. So let me stop the screen share. I was getting lost there. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. All right. So yeah, truth is the only authority. But anyway, there is if you use the code Friday and you go in here, that shirt is going to be like 30% off. You're going to get it real cheap. And it's the one I'm wearing right now. Truth is our weapon. Authority is theirs. Just when you go to the store, truth versus authority.store, just put in Friday as the code, and then you will get a discount there. So let's continue. And remember, my teaching and stuff that I'm learning is all those books on the bottom shelf, which comes from David Icke. And then Jordan Maxwell stuff is in some other areas, and then symbolism. And those are the areas that I thought that was pretty cool when it comes down to this reptilian agenda. Quite often, as we try to think about it, it's really hard for us to think about the reptilian agenda because they've done so much to conceal it. Again, when you go back to all the religion stuff, the texts in the Bibles, you go back to every civilization has some type of reptilian type of, depictions or carvings of, and you would think, why wouldn't you make sure that that's the one thing that people don't believe? You want to make sure they don't believe that reptilians exist if you're going to be there controlling people. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of other alien beings here. There's more than just the reptilians, but the story has it from all of them that the reptilians are the ones who are not too kind for humans. They don't give a damn. In fact, they lack the true bloods of them, lack the emotions of things. And think about this, though. We talked about the monarch programming, right? We talked about the Illuminati, how they would use mind control, how they would use DNA and try to create trauma-based mind control, even trauma-based children, so that the trauma is the driving force of everything. But it was all DNA based, but then the reptilians are emotionalists too. It's like they look for the people that have that emotions that, you remember I was telling you how they wanted to look for fathers and stuff that could do inconceivable things to their babies, right? And when they knew that was the one, somebody that just didn't have a conscience, because obviously, once again, a conscience is a problem, even with the Illuminati stuff. When it comes down to it. So when we start thinking about all of this, Rebel Raider says reptilians or demons. So it's all of the things that you have to. Nina said my shirt shipped. Yeah, I shipped them out today. I was working, and then I got some more coming out Monday for a couple of y'all. So it's one of those things that, once again, that you want to think about is the whole plan, even with the Illuminati, is to keep trying to inbreed to continue the legacy of the dragon bloodline, the dragon legacy, right? There's a book out there called, make sure you get that. I was getting ready to order that one. But they do this purposely to continue the legacy by creating this pure reptilian bloodline, right? Now, if they're doing this and then they put the same people in place to rule the country, the descendants of this, then it makes sense why these people are causing negativity. Because once again, the rituals so now we're going to have hybrids. We have pure reptilians probably, and then we got hybrids, and then we have the human descendants. Then we have the DNA of all of this. And then how many movies out there? We can talk about V. We can talk how many movies that they start trying to tell us that the reptilians are behind something outside of V. I'm sure there's a few more. Anybody know how many movies when it comes to this? You know what I'm saying? And it's you get what I'm saying. How many movies do we do this? She says, I remember correctly, didn't Anthony during the Colossus state that perhaps their entire species are not multidimensional like we are in other stellar races? Yeah, probably so. And everything else. And keep in mind, I mean, Anthony is a friend of mine. He is an authentic reptilian channeler. Now, if I was a reptilian and I'm here feeding off somebody's loosh, and I'm also here with a reptilian agenda, and we had a live session and say, hey, are y'all reptilians here? Hell no, y'all just think we are. I would tell y'all that too. You get what I'm saying? So you have to think about the authentic reptilian that he was channeling. He ain't like he's our friends. You heard how the reptilian taught. You know, you humans are damn near just as stupid as all get out, right? So why would they reveal the truth? And if they are, I'm not saying it that, got nothing to do with Anthony. He's channeling. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? So, you have to also understand what was coming out. I completely respect Anthony and Colossus. Yeah. And he's going to come back and do some stuff. So and he'll be like, that's a Colossus question. And Colossus might just go off on me, like, are you crazy? Blah, blah, blah. So, but again, it's one of those things that you think about when it comes to the energy, the reason behind it and everything else. So once again, when you start talking to people all the time, like we played that clip, that the lady saying that MF is not real, or we saw people eyes, or we saw people slitting and everything else. Those are things that just fewer and far beyond. But again, when you're talking about reptilians and you talk about reptilian shape-shifting and all of those things, then it's a whole totally different story. The movie Species. Now, Species was Species, I don't know if Species, I guess at the end it was kind of reptilian, right? Species did kind of turn to a reptilian, and that was a real good movie, and if you saw that one and stuff, and I probably would have bred her too, good Lord, she was gorgeous as hell, right? So, but I'm saying if you look at those things and you have to do that, right? So, Species, and so we have, but like V was the main one that, that did that, where they're just reptilian beings and all that. But Hollywood, I think all of those things are pretty much there. So it's one of, once again, I think it's something that, again, people take for granted when it comes down to that. But, and if you just joined us, negativity, man, negativity is the food that reptilians get and drain from humans. And everything that we have systematically is designed to create their food energy or loosh, not just for reptilians, but these demonic parasites. Because remember, I told y'all about the story in Oregon when I went to Oregon and met those people that took me up into that mountain. And one of the things that, not only after telling me about my soul contract, but one of the things that she pointed out to me is that she wanted me to be very clear that it is more than just aliens type of stuff that you're about to deal with. Protect yourself, because it's demons and other entities and all of this stuff. So not only we have the reptilians doing what they're doing, but then you have all of this other stuff that's living in and within us, that's going. John Carpenter, They Live. That is, something I've seen that one too, and there was another one they put on those glasses and they can see people or something. But yeah, but anyway, so she was telling me to be careful that these entities and deities and all of this stuff. Now, the hint. Let me give you a hint. We start getting in the ufology world. Government officials start leaking about 2 years ago that it was more than alien now, not just interdimensional, but demons. That they started saying that it's not just aliens that's in and out things, that is demonic stuff or presence and everything else. And of course, what did we talk about the last 3 days? The Illuminati 13 bloodlines will trauma based and summon demons into these kids. And as though that the demon is telling them, hey, I need a body, give me a body. You know what I'm saying? And they will worship and sacrifice. Now, I told y'all what getting off the freedom train was last night in the uncensored area. We talked about that, and it's a treacherous thing, right? So for those of you who was in there, but when you start talking about the demonic stuff, when it comes down to it, then it is probably going to be more than just reptilians. So obviously we're facing, without knowing, a plethora of different things that we're dealing with as humans, and not understanding what's really out there and what's really happening. So I think it's something that we should pay attention to. We should look into it, and then we should also begin the point of coming. Now, if you want to discuss reptilian talk, shape-shifting, and everything else, then I'm gonna share a story with you a little bit here in a moment. Let me know. And if you have your camera and you're not afraid to be seen, and if you're not a reptilian and you're not a shapeshifter, I'll put a link in the description and y'all can hop up. You know, like I said, I'll bring you in and out. I'm not just going to be leaving people up because you may not have nothing to say. And if you don't have nothing to say, don't come and have nothing to say. And pretty much. But like I said, if it ain't, if you know, I'll politely say, if you get up on stage and you're not saying anything on topic of what we're doing, then I'm gonna have the system will remove you by itself. AI will do it, right? Yeah, right. All right. So yeah. So at this point, if you want to come up on stage tonight, put your say in the chat. I do. Not I do as we get married, you know, but I do, meaning to me that you want to come up, and I'll put a link. You click it, you can use your phones or whatever, and it'll bring you up on screen. But like I said, you know, we like to know who we're talking to. And if you're wearing your bonnets and all that, bonnets is allowed as well. And you can wear your bonnets and everything else. But anyway, I'll continue. So the part is, why would a reptilian want to be in a celebrity? Why would they? Because you would think a reptilian or shapeshifter damn sure don't want to be a homeless person. What fun is that shit, right? You know, what fun is to go through that one and pretty much from there. So I think it's something to put. All right. So Victorious R says, I do. All right. So I hope you said I do. You want to come up here too. So there's a link right there. Click the link. I'll see you in the bottom of the studio. Again, you know, if you have headsets, that's cool. If you don't, you know, we just need to mind the audio. And then, of course, you know, you have your camera. We're not, you know, some of the other places. But anyway, there's a link there. Y'all can click it. Like I said, you're not staying long, so don't anticipate that. I'm just bringing in and out, but we're talking about reptilians, whether you believe it, whether you've seen one, why, what do you want, whether questions you may have for me or the audience. We're having a conversation, whether you think celebrities are reptilians or shapeshifters or all of the stuff that you think, then we can go with that from there. All right, so let me kind of go here. All right. So, is it Victoria?
Yes. Hi, my name's Victoria.
Victoria.
Username
Okay.
Victorious.
Well, Victorious. All right. So, what do you have for us today? Any questions, conversation? And first of all, thank you for popping up today.
No, thank you for making this, you know, a community. I do a lot of reading and I'm a video person.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a series on Netflix. I can't remember the name right now. I believe it started with an S.
Okay.
But it's a Turkey based series. And in this series, it talks about a god that was a snake. And so the story goes that she loved this human. The human accidentally betrayed her. And out of the consequences, because she did love him and her love was on divine, like it was true love, that the curse would be kept going and kept going and kept going until they could just break it. So basically they were living in kind of like hell and back, hell and back, hell and back. And it was the same individuals not being able to move on or die. They, no matter what year, how many years, it went back to centuries. So with that being said, I know it's just a movie, but you have to also look at different worlds, not different worlds, different mythologies,
Okay.
different times, different countries, because it would be interesting if somebody were to take the time, okay, in 1900, 1800, past that, okay, what part in the world, what do you have? And that's something that movies are always based on somewhat of a like they already seen it or it's a story,
Absolutely. I
and then
agree
they
with you
just
on
kind
that.
of alter
Like they
things.
didn't
So
just
they're
make
like,
this shit
okay,
up, right? They didn't just make it up.
right,
Yeah.
right. And so I thought that was interesting because, like I said, the story was that she was betrayed, but she did ultimately love.
The reptilian.
Correct.
Well, it's it's ironic you say she did ultimate love, because even when some of these not UFOs, but extraterrestrials would visit here, it was almost, they always were missing the one power that the human race had, and that was emotion, of the ability to love. And it's almost like they all they sought out for that. And it's the same thing when you think about Kolosk, and Anthony talks about it, that the reptilians, they lack the emotional state of what we're going on. But I do have a question about what you were saying. You were saying that, or correct me, or give me a little more data. If we were all do some research and start looking in time periods, are we looking for remnants of reptilian
So
stories, or what are we looking
in
for
the
in these
time
time periods?
periods,
Yeah.
you would study everything.
Okay.
If you wanted to specialize in one specific area,
Okay.
because it's funny, if you ever pay attention to mythology,
Okay.
the common one, Greeks. Greeks is the number one mythology out of there. But you're like, wait a minute. The Greeks, Aztecs, people in Turkey, Egyptians, you have to remember the world was one.
Okay.
I don't know when it got
but
divided.
before the water, right? Divided it. Yeah.
Well, if you want to go back to what, Billy Carson says, how he says things were divided and, people went out after that to spread their knowledge. And that's where you got the pyramids.
Mhm.
I suppose we can go there, but I would think my theory is look at every mythology, every country. You got to look beyond Greeks, beyond the Aztecs, beyond people in Turkey, beyond what's the name? I'm like drawing a blank with the tribes in Africa.
The Dogon tribes, or no?
But it would be interesting, like I said, do the research. It would be It would be like a universal research, because everybody would essentially somewhat have to go to different parts and like hear the stories.
Yeah,
it would be easier to go to the country, talk to the people. It would be nice because we would get a first-hand story, but in reality,
well, we probably wouldn't today though, right? Because those things are like out of tune now, right? You know, it's like as the years and years go by, the stories become myth, and the myths become legends, and the legends become folklore, right? Or something, if I'm saying. Regina, welcome. What do you got to say about the reptilians, and what do you think about what Victoria was just saying?
Oh yeah, yeah, I do. I spoke with you the other evening. I really appreciate you answering the phone like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning the other night.
I do answer the phone,
Um,
yes.
yeah. Um, like it says, in the Bible, I don't want to refer the Bible, but I have to go to the Bible.
Hmm.
Like it says, in the beginning, the darkness hovered, the spirit hovered over the waters and separated the waters from the waters.
Okay.
That's seawater from fresh water. What hovers? Seriously, what really hovers? It's a spaceship, a hoverboard, all
Mm.
of that. That's what really hovers.
But would the word hovered then mean the same definition as it would today? Just like she was just saying, things of the past, as we look back. And if
Oh
anyone else
yeah.
want to jump in with us,
Yeah.
there's a link in the description there. I'm gonna put it back there again. Y'all click it, it'll bring you on stage with us as well. So let me do that. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Um, I my boyfriend unexpectedly passed away. It'll be 2 years this August, unexpectedly. I've always seen the number 1111 my entire life, ever since I was a child.
Okay. I think you and I talked about that. So
Yeah. Yeah, so
and
let's go past that. Okay.
yeah, well,
Um,
let's go reptilian talk because I want to
yeah,
keep the
reptilian
audience
talk. Well,
engaged.
we'll go
Yeah.
reptilian talk. All you have to do really when it comes to that is to really look under a microscope and see our skin. Our skin is a reflection.
Someone said that. I was looking at some videos and they were
Mhm.
saying that our blood is not red. And it was under the skin, or if
Right. Our,
Jen, make
our
sure
blood is our blood
Jen
is
hop up
really
here with us.
our blood is really blue, and I think once after it hits the oxygen, it turns red.
mhm.
Okay,
That's
blue
what I
bloods.
think.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that is something
exactly.
that, they was talking about. That is why, like, when we have this fake jury of copper, and why your skin turns a
Mhm.
certain color, and it's no different than copper out in the water and rust.
Right.
And it comes from the blood stuff there. All right, so if anyone y'all have to say, I'll bring y'all back down and let some more folks pop up.
Oh wait, one more.
Go ahead.
Oh
Chakras.
yeah, I have one more question also.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Chakras, because when you were talking about the whole energy thing, and I'm starting to learn about it, is that my experience, chakra, the energy, the work, if you could find a legit person,
Mm-hmm.
it's real. Your energies are real. Whatever you want to call them, your
Mhm.
energies or chakras. There's, I think, a couple of other words that I can't think of. But when we talk about energy, negative, positive, neutral, manifesting, these all kind of interrelate because it's energy. Whatever you're putting in and giving out is kind of what you're going to get back.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I
Um,
agree. It's in this book of sacred secrets, even though we're talking about the chakras up here, but it
Mhm.
talks about the energy field, or what you're
Yeah.
talking about right in there.
mhm.
The universe,
Roger,
universe. So,
Roger,
hmm
I have a question for you.
hmm
Do you believe in the 20 and back? I just want to know if you believe that or not.
I'm not
Because my
even
brother,
no,
no.
no, I'm not even familiar with it.
Oh, the 20 and back
Hmm.
is when supposedly, I have to put that supposedly in there, or allegedly, I should say, that they take children and then they bring them on other planets or different solar
And be
systems.
careful what we say. Use
Okay.
code words if you have to, so we don't get.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you say, if you put
Yeah. And
children with
then
another words, yeah.
yeah, and then they like like the movie Men in Black. Okay, so we can
Mhm.
go there with the movie, Men in Black, and how they erase their memories and come back.
Mhm.
My brother went into. I'm not going to name the branch, but he was 18 years old and he didn't know what he wanted to do with his life, and so he went ahead and went in one of the branches of military and went to boot camp, and he came back in 2 weeks. And he was the look on his face, and he was smoking cigarettes, and my brother never smoked ever.
Yeah,
And
they go through a tremendous and deprogramming to bring them back to a program.
oh,
They have
right.
to break them down mentally and
Yeah.
all those things. So anyway,
Yeah.
we'll get back to that. I appreciate y'all coming up. And of course, Regina, you got my number. We talk.
Oh, yeah.
But again,
Okay.
Victorious, both of y'all, I appreciate it. And if y'all have some more reptilian stuff later during the show, because we're gonna be here a little while, pop back up. So y'all got the link. So I'll talk to y'all.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Jen, I thought you was hopping up in here, wherever you went, pretty much. And yes, someone asked, do you have to show your face? Put on a wig, a mask, or something, because I am very transparent. I can go put on my alien mask behind me there and hide from y'all and everything, but I'm not going to hide from you or anything else. And now, if you want to disguise your voice,
and you don't want us to know who you are, then use one of these machines and describe, hide your voice, okay? And then we won't track it all the way back, and your friends could be watching it and they know it's you telling your story.
so you could do all of that. Yeah, put that bonnet on. Go ahead, y'all. Put the bonnet on, and pretty much. But y'all think Regina and both of them, for being here. Where we at to now, and pretty much. But anyway, so the whole point is the reptilian stuff, and the question would be, if you want to talk about it, again, I put the link in the chat, hop on up with this. Jen says she might be coming or something, but that's our lead researcher now. You're talking plethora of information there. But I'm sure someone else will join us if y'all want to talk about some reptilian fake mustache. Anyway, put on your fake mustache. You know what? You can just come on and put your face like this and then be like, yeah, I want to talk, blah, blah, blah. If you want to hide yourself from there, that'll be something that I think that you could do or not do, and pretty much. But, we just kind of, again, the energy, what these reptilians are doing and what they're not doing and everything else. There she is. So this is the greatness of Jen, who is behind the majority of our content here, stories and everything else. And I'm gonna name her the Archives. That's gonna be her new name. I'm gonna start naming you the Archives. Okay. All right. So that's gonna be your new code name, the Archives. All right.
Sounds good to me.
Sound good. All right. So what's going on? Now you and I talk all of this stuff. So where do we want to go? Let's talk about some reptilian stuff. What do you think about it?
I think it's definitely real, like historically documented and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you look back, I've read just as much as you have about by David Icke and Jordan Maxwell and all that. So yeah, I've also seen stuff and had crazy weird experiences. So
okay, well, like reptilian style experiences?
Like one.
Well, shit, we don't need but one. Talk to us.
Well, it was like one night I was in meditation and I saw a reptilian it was like one was standing with like 7 other different types of beings. So
like they all hanging out. See, it's kind of weird because not weird what you're saying, but we know that there are several different species of some type of extraterrestrial alien beings that exist here. but it's all roads lead back for some reason. Is the reptilians is the ones who chose to control us. Now let's go back for a minute. If people control what they think they own, you get what I'm saying in so many words.
Yeah.
And if you go back to all of the history books and biblical and all this and ancient civilization, it's reptilian existence all over this stuff. So is this their stuff, their planet? Did even now when they say the Anunnaki could have been reptilian?
Well, if you look at the Terra papers, they took over and whenever they usurped, the reptilians usurped it from the Anunnaki, and then they now own it. And then Alien Interview and the Law of One all talk about how we are in like a trapped planet and nothing can get in and nothing can get out.
But the lost 300. Because see, I was reading something else that there was 600 to begin with. Three came. In that Alien Interview, she talks about the alien. Talks about they've been coming here looking for the 300, right?
Yeah.
But then you go back to the Anunnaki stories of the missing 300. It's like same stories, different stuff, but it all appears to be, the same stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like it appears to be, I guess, like it's kind of like religion, like variations of the same story.
Yeah.
And it's all the same stuff with different names.
Yeah, Joey Maxwell talks about that. He says there's 27 stories. He said that's why he said the Bible is the greatest book story ever told, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
The Bible is just a compilation of everything put together into one.
So if we think about the Anunnaki, and then you want to talk about the aliens, because again, let me back up for a minute. You mentioned about trapped here, so we'll put that with the reptilian agenda of us being in this soul trap, or I forget what I call it all the time, but anyway, we're here. They call it the soul net. You ever heard that term?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the soul net people is supposedly exist, and there's been people tell her I said hello. Where's she at? Yeah. Where my friend at? The soul net, supposedly, there's been stories coming up on the internet that people are now starting to see it. Have you ever seen that coming across? That they're starting to see. I haven't
heard about seeing it, but I know that there's a soul net and like an invisible trap that catches. It's like it catches souls, and it's actually what I'm basing my fiction book on. It's the idea that like you're going through space and all of a sudden you hit this like invisible part of space.
Boom.
and you're sucked out of it, and then you're in the invisible trap and no one knows how to undo the trap, find the trap, all that kind of stuff.
But that also goes back to the theory. Now, from in all this does tie into the reptilian agenda, because supposedly is that because they need us here for energy and the loosh, they got to keep turning us back around in here, boom, boom, boom. We never. However, the story has it though, if you get off the planet, colonization, the Elon Musk, all of, if you die off this planet, you're out of the trap. The soul, it's like you're not going to be on Mars and your soul is coming all the way back here. And it's almost like why they're so emphatic about getting off this freaking planet. You know what I'm saying? To get away. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. It for me, it kind of mixes in with like simulation theory.
Okay.
Like, can we really get off or whatnot?
Right.
So it'd be interesting. It's an interesting idea.
But okay. So you're saying like we're not going to Mars, but you say really get off. But you know what I mean?
I have no idea. But I think that if you focus on, let me see, trying to figure out. I knew what I was going to say and I completely lost it.
But that's all right. Well, hold that thought for a minute. We have now, is it Mantoid? Of course, Mufon. I know what that is, and retired Army Sergeant. So thank you for your service and Bronze Star holder and all of that good stuff. then I know you get ready to tell us some military sugar honey iced tea, or maybe not. But anyway, well, let's go. What you got for us?
Well, I was going to say, if you think back to Afghanistan.
Okay.
Think back to us going into the caves to go and root out all the terrorists that were in the cave systems in there.
Okay.
Why is it that the military turned out running out of those caves and used bunker busters on those cave systems the minute they left those caves?
Because of something that they saw and said, "Oh shucks, we're in the wrong goddamn house."
They went in there and they found a reptilian hive in the mountain. It wasn't terrorists.
Lots of stories like that.
It was not terrorists. They ran out of there as fast as they could. Many of them did not make it. They called for air support and they said, we want to bunker bust that entire mountain. And that's what they did.
Wow. I mean, could you remember the guy? I forget his name, though. If y'all remember the story, remember he had got his fingers shot off? You know, he was down there. What was his name? But it was reptilians who they was up against, right? Wasn't it a military? Was he military or they was like something else? But yeah.
Yeah, there's also a story in Iraq, the real story of why we went into Iraq, not the oil, not even the oil. I was told that Saddam actually found an ancient crypt with alien technology.
Whoa. And they needed it.
And the U.S. wanted it, but we couldn't go in without, authorization. So, or any, something coming up. So, hey, they have chemical weapons there. We need to take them out. We go in. I did not see it happen, so I cannot say that.
Okay.
But I can say that I was on the patrol team with Blackwater, securing the area around that spot.
And what was it now so what rumors came out of that?
There was rumors that there was a intact alien craft with alien technology that Saddam found and was trying to actually get to the surface to take to a lab, and we were going to get it before he had gotten a chance to get it up.
It makes sense because there is not a country out here that have some type of alien crash that our government and military don't run over there and take it in a heartbeat, because They know that the reverse engineering of all that technology is what it is now, for stealth, all of this stuff that we have is not because somebody just thought of, let's just think of this disappearing plane, whatever. It's reverse engineered alien tech, crash retrievals. And since it's happening all over the world, you would think that. But then you would also think it's private contractors too, because their weaponized forces is probably stronger than our military because they're the one making the weapons. And why not have some more advanced than what they're selling us? And when it comes to alien stuff. So
yeah, when I was in Iraq, it was like, we need authorization to go anywhere with our convoy team. We need authorization to leave the base, come back, have our route planned, everything. But when it came to Blackwater, they went out and they did whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted, came back whenever they wanted. They didn't have a plan. They were down there with us.
So, but why would they? Now, I'm not asking you if you know this, and Jan, anyone of y'all can answer, but you would think you go into a cave, you run into some reptilian beings, and you run out. But if they're advanced beings, wouldn't that just like be ants fighting an elephant? You get what I'm saying? And we're not the elephant, right? Yeah. And so it's like all of a sudden, we find them there, then we want to go, and blow the hole up. But again, like you say, you walk in there, and if they then say, "Oh, y'all done walked in the wrong nest, pal," and now we wiping everybody out, then I can understand.
And then we pull free out of Afghanistan after that. The mountain's gone. We're like, no, we don't want to lose any more troops in there. Let's pull out.
But there was a room of giants over there too. Did y'all remember?
There was. I heard that before, but I tried to confirm that with somebody who was over there in Kandahar. And she had told me that rumor is not true. She doesn't believe.
All right.
She was over in Kandahar, so.
All right. So with you being part of the military, and then, you know, what would be even though we're talking more about reptilian stuff.
Yeah.
Then what would be the whole gamut of us not just really, why wouldn't we want to work with these beings in the military? You know, you get what I'm saying? In other words, it's almost like, you remember when the COVID thing, oh my, I'll be in trouble saying this shit now. But anyway, when we had the last part, when they ended up giving out the $600, well, in that package, relief package, there was provisions to capture a UFO. I don't know if y'all remember, it was in writing. It's like they funding the capture. I'm like, why are y'all poking the bear? You get what I'm saying? Why are we sitting in a mandate? We need to capture one. So again, when we're talking about military, we're talking about, and real quickly, I'm just throwing this out there. Have you seen the thing with the guy who said he was former military, that he's turning into a reptilian? Have you seen those?
I saw that on your show, actually, and that is really interesting, to say the least. Maybe some form of outside biological tissue from another being got inside of him and is just replicating. That's the only thing I can think of.
Because he's actually evolving. I do not think, unless he's going to the same doctor as that lizard dude, if y'all remember him on social media, turning himself into a lizard, he was actually adding those things under his skin. So obviously it is something he could do. All right. So Jen, you got anything else, or we want to?
It reminds me, like, the stories that you gave of Afghanistan remind me of the stories about, like, the jump room to Mars and all that stuff that Lynn Caston talks about.
Yeah.
Well, go into detail. Don't y'all keep us in the dark. We're luminous here.
Let's see. Lynn Caston talks about how they'll have a jump room to Mars, and the reptilians and humans fight together against the ones on Mars, because they're trying to, like, take over Mars, and it's all in underground caverns and like in lava tubes and everything. Because apparently Mars is completely colonized still.
See, I had a dream the other day, or not a dream, but I was driving, chilling, and saying that, you know how we talk about these spirits and demons and bad aliens and good aliens. And of course, biblically, it always states there's a war in heaven, right? And all this stuff. So what would be the end game? You know, in other words, I'm just talking in general. Then you have good aliens, bad aliens. We got good reptilians, bad reptilians, our military on one hand, and then industrial complex. It's like all this is one big smorgasbord, but at the end of the day, I don't think we want to go there. We don't want to get in no battle with our technology with an advanced race civilization. Why do we even think we want to do that? Unless we got some weapons we ain't telling about.
There you go.
Well, there is something at the North Pole, or not the North Pole, the Antarctic. The Antarctic station has a array there that they have. It's a beam array. It's a working version of a scalar weapon.
Yeah, that caused accidentally caused earthquakes off the tip of like Australia or something.
Killed thousands of people, and they said, "Oops."
Yep.
That's a big oops.
Yeah.
But I mean, that almost goes down with when they thought the rail gun technology was the next best thing. You get what I'm saying? It was because it's aluminum rounds. There's no bullets, and then you hear it's too expensive to make it small. But where's the big one now?
We'll look all through history, though, Roderick. When you're looking all through history, tell me one ancient civilization that is still around. The Egyptians, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Mesopotamians, none of them are around because they went and they poked the bear.
See, we're probably on the same boat here, because I said that the other day and I didn't want to scare the audience. but I was alluded to it in about 2 nights show ago, and I was like, I don't think nobody's really asking the fucking question, what happened to everybody?
And look at the one place that's all where they found nuclear residue, like a nuke drop there. We didn't have nukes back in the ancient times.
Supposedly.
Yeah, they
But
did.
yeah, you get what
There
I'm
are two
saying. And
different
so
places that have nukes on them.
and you go back and you look at all these ancient civilizations, just what it's almost like, again, now let's go to the stories of Anunnaki, Enlil, getting upset with the humans, and then the Great Deluge, in which somebody, the flood didn't happen. But you go back at all the ant people stories, and it's almost like, okay, we can just wipe this out and start over. And so, but then we also get the story of the, the 9th or the 12th planet is on its way back, Nibiru or whatever they want to call it. But, and again, I think that people do not take in the heat of the stories of them trying to be us being an interplanetary species, because it's almost like the safest place is off the planet, so to speak. Without saying, if you look at history and go by what you just said and what most of us know, time has shown over and over. It's just not in our linear time the way we see it. But obviously, if they can say somebody was here millions of years ago, because you got to think about it. If the aliens was our protectors, or the Anunnaki or the reptilians or whatever, now you got to go back and look and say, what really happened to the dinosaurs? It damn sure wasn't no meteorite, right? It's almost like something said the humans will not be able to survive if dinosaurs are still walking the planet.
Well,
our creation can't function. The dinosaurs are going to eat them up. Let's get rid of all the dinosaurs. You know what I mean?
It could have been a meteor though, because maybe they deflected the meteor into the Earth's path to wipe out the dinosaurs. They knew this is the type, this is the size that we need to wipe out Earth, to wipe out the animals, but keep some of the plants alive afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, we can speculate on all that. I mean, it's something worth to think about, but the obvious fact that nobody talks about is that there has been many over and over occasions where they're wiping out civilizations and starting over.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, so when does that day come for us to be like, okay, well, let's just get rid of it. But, because we thinking we have technology because we have phones and all this. These people were using mind technology back then. We done dumbed down, and you know what I'm saying? We're not nowhere near where we were, and they're moving things with minds, healing with just, I used to watch Star Trek, and that one of them series where the dude be, and they talking, having a whole conversation, arguing like, they arguing, what I'm saying? And then the other dude, get out of my head, like whatever, because you can't keep nobody out your head, right? So
no,
I don't know. I just think it's one of those deals, but all right. Well, I appreciate y'all hopping up.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime.
And Jen, as always, you and I will talk.
Sounds good.
And if anything you got something to say, let me know. We can come back. All right.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So let me clear my stage up so that you all could and if anyone else new wants to hop up here with us, and let me see what we got on my thing here. Let's do this. Oh shit. She was in the all right. So I put the chat. Someone, if you haven't been up yet and you want to come up and join us tonight, jump on up. Renee, I didn't know if you was trying to say anything else, but I just thought you was down in there. So I just moved everybody out. But but anyway, if there's a link right there, if you want to click on your phones and hop up with us, and pretty much, and then we have to Regina's back. Let me see if there's something here. Hang on. All right. So is that something you're trying to get to us, Regina, or are you watching us from the studio?
If you were to look up Mars anomalies research.com. Mars anomalies research.com on Google.
Right.
And just pick up whatever you can off of that particular website. It is actually from all the different satellites that they put out there. It You can actually see, like Billy Carson says, different anomalies and everything that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there's some segments on there that actually shows anomalies in our particular oceans and seas of all the domes and everything that's underneath the oceans.
Right. I think there's, if you think about the ancient, and yeah, y'all give Jen.
I'm talking about like 13,000 feet down.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Oh my gosh.
But y'all thanks Mr. Mantor from MUFON and all of that for coming up and serving, and then also Jen as well. But yeah, I think that we should know by now that the water hides the most secrets of the planet.
Yeah.
You know, because if you go back and think pretty much all right, I got somebody that's trying to come in the studio. Okay, so are you done, Regina? Let me get this.
I am. I'll give you a call later. If not tonight, then I'll give you a call the next few days.
Well, not tonight. It's Valentine's Day,
okay. Not tonight.
Yeah, not tonight. It's
But
Valentine's Day, and I'm not. And
I'll go ahead and share some more information to you.
I'm gonna be alone tonight, chilling and tripping and crying. All right.
Well,
anyway,
but don't feel bad.
No, it's all good. I don't feel bad. All right, we'll talk. But yeah, so if anyone else, again, if you want to join us, there y'all go right there. Also, let me put up the 800 number. Yeah, as you heard, I do answer the phone, and pretty much I thought I had it. Ooh, maybe I took down my number screen. There we go. So screenshot this on your phones, and then you can put it in, put my name behind it. If I don't answer, if you leave a message, it will record. And when I do answer, it's going to tell you the phone call is recorded, because I do record it because people tell their stories and everything else. But this is a place you can send links, photos, anytime, and pretty much because, again, but I'm looking for all the reptilian stuff that you can find out there. So make sure if y'all have anything, links, or you see some crazy on social media, text me the link, and all of that, some photos or something, or like I say, just give me a call, pretty much. And if I can answer it, I will. But that it is there. Real quickly, if you have not joined us on our uncensored area, Truth versus Authority, right there, Patreon, the All Access Pass, which is the Access Pass, and really, for less than 70 cents a day, I think. Let me see, 70 cents. If you got 70 cents in your, your cup holder or something, just change, Now, of course, if you got small kids, ain't no such thing as having that kind of change. Because, boy, look at them kids be getting it. But 86 cents a day could give you, not only support the show and feed we're not feeding anybody here, but you feed not more knowledge to more people. But 86 cents a day. So if you think about it, that's something. But let me give a shout out real quick to Whitney, Allie, Wesley, Olivia, Trevor, Lighthouse, Doreen, Leslie, Betty, Natalie Boy, April, Damon, Kohari, Oliver, Celia, Brenda, Melinda, Jackie, Isaac, Veronica, Tina, Sandra, Dominga, Ellis, Elvis, Diana, Isaac, Gosclo, Cameron, Jennifer, Joe, Esther, Crystal, and the list just keep going here a little bit. Kathy, Tricia, Adonis, and if I skip you, I'm sorry. Clever, Helen, BJ, Lakeisha, Anthony, Darius, Manuel, Judy, Maya, Christine, Joanne. Let me tell you what you all have done by supporting the All Access, and then we do have some other people doing the Patreons too, and I call some of your names there too. I have secured 3 guests so far. Some I did give a love offering to, that is going to come in that area and give us some shit that we are going to blow our minds away. I just got to do the date scheduling. It is you. And like I said, if it's not your time and anyone else, we are archiving all of these things, so it'll be there when you come. But for those of you in real time, I can't imagine to tell you, because it's been a dream of mine to get out there and get some of these people. And I believe in love offerings. In other words, giving people what they're worth for their time, especially to come in and do that, and being able to have resources that we're building to do this is a powerful thing. And the blessing of that, I use the word to say that the information that we're going to get. Now, next week, we're going to have my sister there, Courtney. She's going to do live readings within it. You know, she can do it in the audience. You know, yesterday it was about 20 or 30 of you there. So we had a great time, Q&A, personal talk and everything else. As we increase it, we will have more time to go 4 hours instead of just 2. Remember I told y'all that. But the whole point is that area is so essential because of the monitoring and the censorship that we go through. And if you do find value in these conversations, guys, you will be floored over time, because I just started it, so we're building it. But over time, on what we're going to hear, that people can say that they're not censored. I don't know people understand the power of people talking their stuff without nobody censoring them. And so far that place, so it's not really Patreon, it's Crowdcast that we use, but it's linked through Patreon. And because we're doing it that way so far, but eventually we will afford our own system and host our own stuff offline that we can do. So it's essential to have 2 parts, because you're going to have dark. So it's no different than occult knowledge. It's why you have esoteric knowledge and esoteric knowledge. It's the same. We're going to follow the same principle. We're going to have a esoteric place, which is our uncensored area right now, to do that. So I just want to verbally thank all of you who are supporting it, and pretty much in that is just something there, you know, from there. But anyway, let me put back up the website. And if you do want to join, let you know. So here's our schedule real quick. We're Monday live here. Tuesday, we're going to be live on Forbidden Knowledge. Wednesday, back here. Thursday, in our uncensored area, live. And then Friday, like we're doing here now. Now, keep in mind, there will be some times that we may have, we probably get back to some Freaky Friday or whatever, and I'll set up a link just like we're doing now and say, hey, okay, y'all, we're going dark. Go click the link. Let's go dark, you know, especially if it gets raw, and then we want to keep it going from there. But if you want to get into that area, you know, once again, there it is right there. And moderators, y'all can put the chat in the link. I mean, the link in the chat as well, but it's right there on the screen. It's also in the video description of the video here. Description. How about that? All right, so let's continue. And I'm going to put the link back here again for any of you who want to hop up. And if you knew you want to say some stuff with us, you haven't been up. And pretty much, but all right. So this one time, if you don't want to show your face, why don't you want to show your face? And that's your prerogative, but I get it, and everything else. But all right. So the one thing she said, laugh out loud, chat is in the link. The chat is in the link. Did I say that, or somebody else? Well, either way, y'all got what I was saying. If I confused it. All right. So let me continue with this reptilian stuff. Now, let's start talking about celebrities. There's a lot of rumors out there that there are reptilian shapeshifters. But if you think about Rihanna, I'm going to use Rihanna for a second. Why would she spend so much time? Now, let me back up for a minute. What we have to think about is that sometimes they say that people are not born reptilian, right? That they're switched out. So let's go there for a second. That some of these people are switched out, some reptilian, because they can control things. They can say, you know what, I want to now take on this Rihanna thing. And I'm not saying that she is, but when you think about these people having access to the information, or they're learning our heritage, or all of these things, then you will say, okay, well, why would they spend so much time? In fact, she spends a lot of time showing snake stuff or dressing like a reptilian. Now, could that be marketing? Could it be anything in particular other than what we know when it comes down to, are they sending messages? And the key to it then is, are they sending messages all the time? So I think I got a few of her. So I'm gonna bring up some of her photos real quick. So let me put that on here for a second. They really switch out. So are you saying that shapeshifters into something else replace? Yeah. So it is said that sometimes that they do that. They'll go and they'll say, okay, we're just gonna take over someone else. So look at this for a minute. We have Rihanna here. So, is this marketing that when you see different photographs and stuff that she's taking, she's doing this? You get what I'm saying? But there's somebody caught her eyes, in something, contacts, or is it? No, this is old, and saying, okay, maybe this is a reptilian look or just whatever. Now here's GQ magazine. Why would on earth that she would want to I'm just saying, what's the benefit of her saying I want to be featured in this point, to say, okay, I want to make sure, and this is not it. I mean, she has plenty of stuff out there where this girl have put reptilian things together. So what would be that? Pretty much. Mystical said, your beard is looking exceptionally and fluffy this evening. This is an interesting topic. Well, thank you. And again, happy Valentine's Day to you. I don't think anybody wished me happy Valentine's Day, and I'm admit I haven't got anything on Valentine's Day for a few years, and I'm not missing it, but I do say I would. And when I was at the grocery store today, I saw all these people. I saw one guy. I was at Dollar General getting some stuff. This dude was there buying all kinds of shit, balloons and shit for his missus. And then there was another lady at the register, and she high-fiving the other girl because the lady asked her, did she get anything for Valentine's Day? And then she's like, yeah, no, these she was like, no, I got 3 or 4 of them. And I'm like, damn, she bragging about how many men she got. That's like crazy. So anyway, let's go. Serious Form said, yes, I wished you. All right, thank you. Just a rumor, all humans part reptilian. Yeah, okay, so we can go with that as far as the DNA, that all humans do have some kind of reptilian DNA in us, right? That is what is being said, even though ancient history and books, and not just books, but statues and depictions of reptilian goddesses and all this stuff, is around, and maybe just ancient myth and all that. But again, when you start thinking about celebrities and everyone else, why wouldn't they do that? But the thing is that these reptilians can shapeshift into something else. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't breed with humans or have reptilian babies that eventually grows up and become. So, I mean, just so much stuff there when you think about it. Medusa's legend is actually very sad. Yeah, I don't know all about it. Well, Roderick, you should got her number to be the 5th guy. No, she was rapping though. She was trying to, and I'm like, I'm just watch you seeing how you playing on some folks, and I'm going to just walk into that. And I wasn't interested anyway, but you don't know that. I mean, it's kind of crazy when it comes down to all of this stuff. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you, Mystical, and all the rest of you. Okay, so and again, if you just joined us, let me put on the screen and wish you a happy Valentine's Day. Here you go, right there. Boom, happy Valentine's Day. If you just joined us, to you. And if nobody wished you a happy Valentine's Day, I will tell you, only thing missing is you. So just imagine you here and I'm saying, happy Valentine's Day, babe. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Or get the barrier right. Happy Valentine's Day, baby. Otherwise,
Happy Valentine's Day, baby. Yeah, I know. Wait till we get home tonight. Yeah, choo choo, choo choo choo.
So yeah, anyway, happy Valentine's Day and all that good stuff. All right, so we have, I called you my Valentine and wish mom to. Thank you. All of that stuff. So appreciate it. All that. But okay, so again, when we talk about the reptilian stuff, and all of that, you can go with, the fact that why wouldn't they be in a political world Now, there was a picture I was going to show y'all that somebody caught one of the reptilian. Was it a shapeshifter? So it's just so many different terminologies, but they caught one of the shapeshifters shape-shifting, and it was like a presidential campaign. Remember, it was all over the internet. The guy but he was like he was a CIA person or Secret Service or something. So we see these videos and we see this stuff out there all the time. But you ask yourself, is it something that's happening, or is it something that we need to look into? But as we alluded to at the beginning of the show, and we talked about energy and why they're using us for food and all that, is because of the negative energy. So is that why that the music industry, you have, like you said, wars and all this corporate stuff happening, that they're trying to keep the energy up to a point to where they can feed off the loosh of the energy and then continue down this road of saying, okay, we want to keep the humans down. You heard just a few seconds ago, okay, they ran into reptilians. So obviously the military, and they're in caves because they don't need to be out here with us. But there was also, rumors of them, using the blood and all of this stuff. So you get back to all of those things, from live sacrifices, live rituals that are being done, all the way to a point to where they look at, all right, they're here. But the part of this, though, that's really strange is that we don't see the reptilians using spaceships anymore or anything in particular. Like, they're not just flying around. They're in caves, they're in mountains, or they're hiding underground. So that means they walk among us, which was I was going to mention earlier when we was talking about the water. Go back to ancient times, ancient symbolism and all this. Water back in the day was probably the one place that mankind couldn't go, not without no apparatus. There was no, subs or, oxygen tanks back in the ancient days, at least we think. So therefore, water was probably the best place for the extraterrestrials to hide, or civilizations, because mankind couldn't go there. And so we can't breathe there. We can't live underwater, right? You can't just walk over there into the ocean and just keep going. So them knowing this was probably saying, hey, this is, and then if you still think about today, Earth is 73% water, even with the billions and trillions of dollar military budgets, we're not trying to explore the ocean. We're not trying on purpose to go explore the ocean. No one is saying we're going to make some new oceanfront property inside the oceans when it gets down. I think you're right. Oh, y'all having a conversation. Someone said, do you think that all the caves across the world, the living quarters, do you think that those were reptilians or just people? I think that people and reptilians, probably use the caves, but the fact that the way our skin is, or humans, and needing the sun and the light itself and all those things. So I don't think we would have been total cave dwellers. Now, of course, you can go back to the Hopi. Was the Hopi or the ant people, where they supposedly during the flood, the ant people came up, took human civilization underground for centuries, and where we survived the Great Flood, and they took care of us. So obviously, we underground. I don't know what they use for light, and I don't think the ant people were using fire. All these things underground. So all these stories are something that pretty much okay. So Jen said with the Hopi myth. So yeah, and so when you start thinking about those things and you hear these stories, and at some point we got to believe some of these myths, people. We have to believe. I'm not saying actuality of stuff, but when you start getting a story that's all across every civilization, that's divided by land, sea, water, whatever, ancient ruins, and as big as this earth is, how in heck are they telling the same story when there was no horseback, no wagon wheels? So they ain't traveling, at least on the outside. Maybe they're using those portals. Maybe they're using all these things. So it gets us to think about these ancient myths. And I think it's really good to begin like Victoria was saying that maybe we do need to take these expeditions, and I want to do that here in Dallas. Y'all already know we're gonna look at old ruins and churches and buildings and see what the architect, because the architect of older buildings tell you a lot of story, because they put what's happening back then. So the ant people in the Hopi language translate to Anunnaki. See, there you go, ant friends. And new was one of the words for Anunnaki. So it's like everybody knew the same stories, and it's almost like the world was flat. It's almost like the world was flat. It wasn't round, because everybody could just look down the street and say, yo, man, yo, the Anunnaki. And it goes all the way down to fucking China, I don't know. So it's just crazy to not think that all this stuff is possible. But I just kind of keep more of a inquisitive mind, and you want to ask the whys, not the how. The why is way important than how. And once you start going down the why rabbit hole, you get a little better to understand and figure out stuff to where it is. All right. So does anyone else want to come up? Before we get out of here tonight, I know I'm talking, and I'm talking a lot, but I don't mind keep talking. I can keep talking, and all that. We're not going to go into the dark room, or on Fridays we'll call it the dark room, but any other day. But for the end of the day, so I got a couple of questions. Let's go here. Do anybody in the audience think that one of these reptilians is a celebrity? Outside of me just showing you these Rihanna pictures and all that stuff. Hang on a second. We have a guest in here. Oh, shit. He's wearing the Truth versus Authority, the seal, baby. What's going on?
Oh, so can you hear me good?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. You was talking about like the temples and stuff like that. Just talking about the D. I don't have any reptilian story.
But go ahead.
I think it's really interesting with the D.
Look, you wearing the cap, man. You wearing the Truth versus Authority protection seal.
Right.
So shit, that's VIP right there. Go ahead.
And like the DNA, like I wonder if in some of the temples and stuff, if they have like activation codes too, like, you talk about like some people shifting or seeing like things. Maybe it wasn't they came in contact with something, or they underwent a ritual or something that activated that within them, like, because it's in all of us, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that's what I'm trying to do, but you know what I'm saying? Just
so go deeper with that. You're saying with our DNA, is it activating? I mean, go ahead.
Is there like activational codes? Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's just vibrational or frequency, like, say so much, and this is look from a negative perspective, say it was like,
look, negative energy, but that's that food, that's that loosh. But go ahead.
Could that be like, say, negative aspects activating the negative portions of the reptilian side, or possibly vice versa as well, like in the positive?
I won't say about activation other than especially when it comes down to our DNA, right?
Yeah.
It's diluted, right? Because you're breeding species. So it makes sense when you think about the Illuminati, why they are so gung-ho on breeding their own kind, or making sure genetically they have to have that bloodline of the blue bloods within all these power structures.
Right.
Because it's the blood that triggers. Now, if you think about when we was talking about the mind control programming, using DNA to make sure that they can create the best mind control specimen, then and when they found out about the monarch butterfly genetically passed down memory through DNA.
Yeah.
So then you would think that, okay, then, I wouldn't use the word activation, but you would think that they'll keep going till all of a sudden they can bring some trait out that they can say, okay, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I still look into it across the board, but I think it's something a little different from there. Let me look. Go ahead.
Because I'm not versed in it enough. That's why I didn't come up. I wanted other people that had like more experiences, more.
Well, I'm glad you came up, because everybody else leaving me hanging on Valentine's Day. You would think more people would pop the hell up here and say hello and all that stuff, but I get it. We got a lot of people they're not dressed for it.
So I was really just holding that question and see if anybody else had anything they wanted to speak on that, or if who all knew anything about it, because I'm learning, with the reptilian stuff.
Well, I mean, you seem to be a good-looking cat. You could be part reptilian. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They're not going to use me. You know what I'm saying? But you might be a good specimen that they might want to keep a little higher toned and green skin. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, they might want that yellow thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like, forget that. We go green and chocolate, but him, you right there? They're like, we want that. Yeah. So I don't know. It's all good there. Truth, can you please close caption? I've been trying to figure that out, Batty. And if you figure it out, how I can make a live stream closed caption, please send me the stuff to the email address and I will add it to the live stream. I have been working on that for you for 3 weeks. You can do it. You can add it to an uploaded video because you can do the script and it'll do the closed caption. But for a live stream, I'm not really sure how to turn that on. If anybody out there know, let me know. It ain't going to bother us for it to having it come across that screen from there. But I will. We will fly.
I don't even know what that means, but I ain't
closed caption. It's where. It's the words that come across the screen like a TV view. Yeah. So there's people that watch some of our channels and different things, and they can't hear us, but they can read it across. And so it's a good way for people to. I mean, there's sometimes I turn on closed caption when I'm working, and I don't want to hear, but I just want to look up and read while I'm working, but it's quiet, and I turn on the subtitles, is what they would call it. So yeah. Thank you, Maya. Yeah. So, yeah. So other than that, man, so I'll just ask you a question then. So reptilian, I mean, do you think is real? I mean, just from what you know.
I think it's real. I think a lot of stuff is real. It's really like you even said before, like it's your experience, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot to the mind, but I don't doubt it at all.
Yeah, all right. But I mean, what if you find out the woman you're dating is a reptilian? What do you do?
I mean, I think it's good and bad everywhere. I mean, we've had Kalask on here, and it don't, it wouldn't make them inherently bad to me.
Let me tell this dude. Hey man, I am live streaming, man. Live streaming every day at this time. Every single day at this time. Shit. I'm told that dude. All right, come on.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really take. I think it's good and bad and all of it, and everything.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. That was my brother, y'all. So, so they probably thought, oh, Roderick, he mean. Oh, brother, he didn't hear me hanging up though. Hang on a second. All right, so we're back. So what we got?
So I want to say one more thing. So
yeah, go ahead.
For my understanding, the Aztecs had an origin story that came about this. The reason why people have part animal in them is because one of the tries that they made the humans, something went wrong and they weren't like loyal enough or something enough that they became fishes.
See, I'm going to go at my room. Y'all, I'm gonna put y'all both over here to host my show. No, listen, I was just reading that last night, and I tried it 2 days ago, and they was talking about all this genetic stuff went so bad that there was all these different looks and animals, and I'm gonna go get the book on that, and take a quick restroom break. So I'm gonna put y'all two up, okay, and y'all talk, but y'all got to talk. This is a talk show, okay, and so y'all got to talk. I'll be right back.
I feel like I should go bring my book.
We need some more people to come up too. Don't be scared. It's only consciousness.
Oh no. I'm trying to think of other origin stories because, like I said, when you look back to mythology, and then I don't really like looking at the Greeks and the Romans, but unfortunately, that's kind of the mainstream mythology that's really out there is the Greeks and the Romans. And there's, besides Aztecs, like I said, there's people in Turkey, besides the Egyptians, Ethiopia. That's what I forgot to mention earlier, because their structures and their knowledge and their isolation from the world, actually, I learned this isolation. Any religious person or any tradition person that comes from a certain culture, they're isolated. They're supposed to preserve the knowledge.
Right.
And
And
so
a lot of people say isolation brings elevation. Yeah.
I think it might. I think so, because
Inward stuff, you know.
you look at the monks. You look at the monks, and they're isolated. They accept who they want into, their temple, and they share what they are called to share with them.
Right.
So it begs the question, what stories do they know? Because they want to share what they want to share when they're called to share it. And that's another thing. People hold on to information, you don't know where in the world they're at, and it's whether it's their time to share it or not share it. Like, can we fully grasp these ideas?
Right. And you seem to be a wealth of knowledge. Like a lot of the things you're saying seem to be factual. I know you're like, oh, I don't go into that, but it's like there's a lot of people that know a lot less than you. And like I've been learning a lot listening to things you were saying even earlier and stuff. So the things that you think are minute may be big to me and others. So please continue.
Or mermaids. I can't see anybody's comments, so mermaids. Where did that myth come from?
Right.
Was it the Greeks? I think it might have been the Greeks, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the mermaids. Where did that myth origin from?
You know what? A mermaid goes all the way back to Africa conversations too. I was just watching some people that was talking about it, but hang on a minute. So one of these books, this is the Reptilian Agenda. And I think it's pretty cool to this book's got some real good stories in it. This one is really good. The Flying Serpents and Dragons. You guys need to really read this. It breaks down. I have the audio version too, but it goes back to the pictures of fishes that she was just talking about. So this was really good. This one is volume 2 of this big ass book of the Reptilian Connection to Man. It's hard to find, but it is just not a lot of pictures, but this is volume 2. So volume 2 talks about the serpent, the human head, the serpent with the Old Testament, serpent dread, and serpent charming, serpent whatever. This is volume 4 of this 400 pages each. And they go into a lot of details of this one. This one is volume 1, so I'm studying that one. And this one is volume 3 of this. So this is about 1,600 pages of reptilian stuff. Now, this is a good one that you can get. This is Jordan Maxwell's Reptilian, and he goes, he's really pictorial and shit. In here, he has species that Monica was talking about earlier. He shows you celebrities stuff, and he even got Rihanna in here. Reptilian stuff, and he goes back to Conan the Barbarian, how they were showing, and so he does that. The book that I got for my birthday, someone sent, this is like almost $200. And this is Be Wise as a Serpent. This is deep shit here when it comes down to reptilian. But out of them all, This little book right here is $9. Boy, do they go deep, and boy, are they talking about what she just said about interbreeding. They show how we were bred to be fishing animals, and how that they made a mistake and interbred men, and man came back with 60 inches of red rocket. Okay, if y'all know what I'm talking about. I know some of y'all women are like, what? Yeah, in here it shows that it was like they call them mules, right? That so they crossed them, and they said, no, we got to get out of that one. You know what I'm saying? But they was talking about how all these different species you were just talking about,
you know what I also want to bring up is, I think, just animals in general, because I remember a couple of years ago, I was out on the street. I used to work at a group home, and we saw somebody dressed up as an animal.
Look,
and one of my girls,
y'all get the picture, right? Yeah. Y'all get the picture. This is the reptile. They said look at the woman on the top, but they saying that, yeah, that was a problem. And then there's another one right there on this side. I don't know if y'all see that picture a little bit, but let me make sure the light can hit it. The gray on this side right here. Y'all see those things hanging out of there. But they're saying that was genetic stuff that they had problems with, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure some of you women have met a mule guy today already. It'd be like, oh, he's blessed. Shit, he's fucking genetic experiment or something. You know what I'm saying? Something wrong with that dude.
What about DNA. People identifying as animals? Because like I said, I have seen people dress up, do the whole costume.
Well, that comes from the I talked about that this week. That comes from the mind control programming, where they think they are white kittens, the betas, the S slaves, but the other people that alter comes back to different types of animals, and that's how they get their identity or something. I forget, but I talked about it, but it's in that stuff. But yeah, so that's that mind control programming when that happens.
What do you think about, like, they say a lot of ETs inhabit the water and stuff. Do you think all the ones that are inhabiting the water are reptilian? And then that brings me to the question too, we all have DNA. How much of the extraterrestrials do you think have alternate DNA as well? And not just like we say they're this or that, but they're a mixture.
Well, I think that the reptilians live among us. They walk among us in of course, underground caverns and all of that. The stuff that's in the water that's hiding because they're in spacecraft, they're from somewhere else. So now if you start thinking that the reptilians appear to be controlled in our matrix and system, like David Icke book says, so now we're dealing with different species and different technologies. So obviously there are some rules that they can't, we're off limits, but somebody's taking us though. You get what I'm saying? You're going to always have thieves in the night, right? But obviously Earth planet, and then in the book of the alien interview, Earth is a project planet, also a prison planet that Jim was talking about earlier. And that all of the companies in the universe bring their stuff here to Earth as they grow different things, different places. That's why we have all these different species of everything. But if you think about it, we have the same blueprint, 2 eyes, a nose. A fish got 2 eyes and a nose, damn near. A spider got some extra eyes, but a nose and a mouth. It's like somebody said, this blueprint is something I'm going to use, but yet I'm making all of these different stuff. Of course, oh yeah, God did it, right? But I'm just saying, the God that created all of this, and then of course, other people show up like the Anunnaki and say, wait a minute, we need to make that shit some slaves. And then it wasn't working right, because remember, we wasn't procreating at that point. And then they said, okay, well, then, or not Anu, but the sister, Enel, or wherever, who was over water in reproduction or whatever, she told the brothers, what you seek is already here. meaning man was already here. So they didn't create us. They genetically modified us to where we are today.
In Star Trek, didn't they call it like progenitor tech or something? Or was it something like that?
I don't remember that one, but which one you watch? You're a little younger than I am. So you watching this modern day. I watched the Kirk shit, the lover of the fucking galaxy. You know, he made it with green people, yellow women. You know, Captain Kirk that's how I learned the birds and the bees.
Yeah, my dad was in the older one, but I was talking about the new one, the new Discovery. They were getting.
Yeah. Well, we nobody watch it. That's that young. Go back and watch some old Captain Kirk stuff.
Yeah,
when Star Trek, when they was out there, then you will see the real deal. You know, when that green woman kissing on him and stuff. Bigfoot. Oh, you talking about, yeah. So yeah.
What would you say is the most common reptilian that you find throughout every culture?
It'll be hang on. This one right here. The mother nursing the baby. That reptilian is in all ancient walls, different. That's why people was like, wait a minute, where is this coming from? Right. And so you're not going to have a reptilian that, okay, this one is this way. It's like there's a purebred reptilians. Then you have the story of the Nephilims that they made it with the women of man, right? Or, you know, the daughters of man, and created a new race, which then came into the giants. And then, of course, the giants then come back into and don't even ask me how a giant man made it with one of our women. I don't even know how that was possible.
Energy? Maybe through energy?
It better been some energy, because if she took all of that, excuse me, you know what I'm saying, then no wonder women, I will say the power, okay? Because if you taking down giants, ladies, you are bad sisters and ladies, or whatever you want to call it. But I don't know how they did that. Now, in the dog breeding, when we used to breed dogs, if you're going to cross a species, you would have to take a smaller male and cross it with the bigger female so that she can have the pups. So I would probably assume there was giant women. Now that would be crazy. Little man with that giant woman, and just, he diving in there.
Giant men, wouldn't there be giant women? Look at all the legends of, like, I remember this TV show Xena.
Okay.
Wasn't she supposed to be wasn't she a giant, or she had some powers or something?
Look, Body Lecture said women give me pound. We're not talking about no 10-pound baby. We're talking about a 600-pound baby. Okay. A giant would have been like 600 pounds coming out of that way. That
make you think about when they talk about going into caves, they give you a different perspective.
Okay. Well, maybe that's what they're talking about, right? They really wasn't in a cave. You know what I'm saying? But when you start thinking about these reptilian stuff, man, but you hit it, the animal crosses. Now, in the book Alien Interview, and I've said this before, the alien said that you humans, we gave you the answer to for you to know that you were not that you were created, that, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, we gave you, let me see if I can find what I'm looking for here. And it was like, we gave you the answer to let you know, and we left something on this planet so that you know that you were not just, that you were created. And let me put it on screen here for all of us real quick. So let me see if I can share this screen with all of us on here. All right, so yeah, let's do it. So right there, the alien said the duck-billed platypus was left here for us to know that you were crossed, because how in the hell you got a half fucking bird, duck bill, web feet, a beaver tail, and it's a mammal, and it lays eggs, but the eggs are live, the eggs are live when it's born, right? So they said it that this animal, because you can't crossbreed a bird and a mammal today, but yet that is a cross between a bird and a fucking mammal. You know,
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, well, there's a book. There's an alien that said that this is what happened, and they left this here for us to know that. So there again, he brings it up in a platypus every time that he can. Yeah, I bring it up every single time, and like Santa Claus every time Christmas. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they, was talking about to let us know that. That's the one. It's in, and like I said, it's in the book. The alien talks about it, and she says that was your answer of genetics. And nobody checks to find out how did that thing have a duck bill, duck feet, and a beaver tail and something else, right?
Out of curiosity, does that specific animal link back to like dinosaur ages by chance?
I wouldn't say it links back to dinosaur ages, but it does cross the answer of saying, how such a thing happened, right? And so in the Alien Endgame, she or interview, she talks about Ariel is a name. She talks about how different corporations will bring different species here to the earth just to make it and see what works and what doesn't. Like the birds and bees was about a company, the Blossom Company, and that's who made not birds and bees, but the flowers. And so the people that made the flowers, and we all say Mother Nature, but whoever genetically created those said, hey, we need a way, we need to pollinate our product. Let's create this bee thing that's going to go and do the work for it, right? So it's like, why are we thinking all this stuff is working in synergy? Could it possibly be working in unison of the creator itself? Somebody said, don't you allow English guys on your channel? I'll allow anybody who clicked the link, Earl.
Here, I'll leave the channel so somebody else can join.
Okay. All right. We'll talk.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So let me put that link back in there, Earl. I mean, if you click that link, I'll allow anybody to come on up. There it is right there, brother. Yeah. Come on up. If English is English like mate, like come on up, mate. Well, that's Australian or something. So yeah. So yeah, bring it on and come on up, talk to us. So again, it is about all of those things. But I'm fascinated with the reptilian agenda. And only thing I'm crossing right now through all of this research is the religious side of it. And although I look for more the conspiratory side, but all roads keep pointing back to religion or religious origin. I will use that word. And so that's been the challenge for me, is saying, whoa, okay, here we go pretty much from there. It's like, okay, what do we do, at the truth of that? Because I can't, some of the stuff I'm reading, I want to come back and say, but then you get attacked, religiously, think is pretty much from there. I'm back on the hook. Is he a reptilian? I don't know, because he's green. It could have been symbolism for that. You don't like me when I'm angry, and then the negative energy comes out of him. He only comes out when he's negative. You know what I'm saying? You never know. That could be a symbolism for it, at some point. So I think it'll be, to a point on that part there. So, all right. So what's going on, Earl?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You?
Hey, I'm reptilian talking. I'm here. So what you got for us today?
Well, first of all, I don't say mate.
So okay, so he's not Australian. So make sure you turn down your volume on the backside, because we can hear.
I'm gonna do that right now. Give me a second.
Okay.
First of all, I don't say mate. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better, because we'll hear double time over here. But go ahead. So you don't say mate. So English don't mean you're from Australia, though, right? No.
Hell no.
Okay, well then, all right. Well, let's go. Give us a geology, some geo.
Well, you know how you say like people, they walk among us and they're around us it to me, it like me and my partner, we were incarcerated 2020, and I was released, say, 4 months before her. She came out
Okay.
like 4 months afterwards, but like since she's been out, it's like I don't think it's her, and that might be weird to understand, but she's very hard-bodied, and
Now, when you say hard body, like thing, like boom, these not soft. I mean,
no, she's tough.
like tough as in like she going out cutting trees and going out and tackling the meat. I mean, give me a
No,
more.
no, I
'Cause
mean,
remember, you're
tough.
English. You're
Yeah.
English, so let's
Oh,
go
yeah.
with the American term of tough. So go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
She could take on anyone, basically.
Okay. Well, all right. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
But since she's like the last 4 years has been like, for me, it doesn't feel like it's her. And I've said this to her on many occasions, and she kind of fobs it off. But then it's just don't seem normal to me. And I watch a lot of your stuff, a lot of what because I believe this stuff is you can just see
Now,
it.
did you
can
know
just
her
tell.
before?
Yeah, I've been with her 12 years.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so you're saying the person that returned is not now I'm not a therapist or anything, but could the situation that she was in or you all were in made her tough? Because you got to defend for yourself, or I don't know. So when you say tough, knowing that person, what are you? Let's go with the more intimate side of it, because what you're saying is this person. This is not is an animalistic, or is it? You get what I'm saying?
It's very aggressive, and when you say with
Okay.
the reptilian brain, it brings a lot there of the aggression.
That's why I use that. That's why I went there, because usually, yeah, that reptilian brain shifts. It's the emotion is not really there, and it's really hard, from what I've heard, for them to deal with that, and that's one of the human experiences they like to experience, so to speak.
Yeah, and like before she went, he was very loving, very caring, and I understand it can be traumatic because it is a very traumatic place to be.
Mm-hmm.
But the first few like months after she was out, she was weird but fine. And I thought to myself, okay, she's just had an experience, and she just needs a bit of time to get back into society. Which, if you know anyone that's been incarcerated, even if you've been away for a month, you still need a little time to just get back into the swing of things. But it's like when I met her, she was very adult. Showed me about what a relationship was, how to be an adult. And it's like, it feels like she's gone backwards, but it's all with aggression.
Now, what about any type of, do you have any type of dreams in this situation, or, do you feel energy stricken,
There's a very, very negative energy around the house since for about 4 years now.
Okay.
Where it's a really loving, caring house, it just seems to be, as soon as you enter the house, it's like, ooh, you feel it. And I feel like even the kids feel it. It's not that we're showing them anything, because they don't see if there's a minor argument, they don't see these type of things. We keep that away from them.
Yeah.
But you can just sense the aura and the negative energy, and I'm trying to explain to her to, try listen to some certain frequencies. On some, you can listen to YouTube. They have frequencies that play that you
That's
can
gonna be
fall asleep
rebellion right
to.
there. You're gonna get rebellion. Now, I'm gonna say something, and maybe also if anyone in the audience, especially our clairvoyant persons or anything else, definitely y'all welcome to come up. See, because now we move into the world of the demonic stuff that we talk about, right?
Mhm.
Not just so much of reptilian, but the other bad energies and parasites and stuff.
Mhm.
And you know, like Damon, people saying, can you get her to meditate? I don't think that you're not gonna, you know, it's almost like the game of, and I'm not suggesting you do this, you know, you just walk in there and throw some holy water, be like, psh, right? And then all of a sudden, just with the, because I don't believe in that will be the answer to it. It's almost like it'd be a laughing matter.
Yeah.
But I do believe you,
Mhm.
and I do believe you, right?
Mhm.
And I've said that before on the show, because it's real. And
Yeah.
if you can feel the energy when you walk into this place,
Mhm.
that's what I've been talking about, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know that shit is real powerful.
Mm.
And that dark energy is, and when you come in, you're gonna feel it because it's draining off of you.
Yeah.
It's feeding off of you.
Mhm.
And then if the kids, who are the most purest of energies, is saying that they feel something is wrong, then you know you got something going on, because everybody knows when a child is little and they walk up to people and you be like, hey, give Uncle Harry a hug, and they be like, oh, hell no. And then
Mhm.
you be like, no, and you trying to push them. They know they
Yeah.
because that's why all of the entities, people, and everybody is trying to trap the children, because the children has the most purest energies that we
Yeah.
have, because it's not tainted by experience and reality that we get as we get older.
Mhm.
So what are some of the things the kids can allude to?
Mhm. So what about 3 weeks ago? We was taking some pictures in the living room, which is, do you call the living room the front room? Yeah, your living area where you chill out, the sofas in there and that, the couch.
That we'll say living room, yeah, front
Yeah.
room, living room, yeah.
Okay, so we was taking some pictures. I took about 4 pictures of her, and to the side of her on the wall, it looked like it's on the wall. You can see something there, and it's a white light, not a dark light.
No, I'm saying
You see
you
something.
got your damn answers, but go ahead now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is there any way that I can show you them, like upload them so that you can see them or not? Can you
Yes,
send me a link for that?
I will send you a link to it. In fact, now, are you in the States now, or where are you at now?
No, I'm in England, man, Bedford.
England. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you have a email address, or now my 800 number that I'll
Mhm.
put up on screen here, and then I want
Mhm.
you to screenshot your screen.
Yeah.
It will let you text me images, or it'll let you, it's 800 number, so we can communicate. It's not going to cost you anything to do that. You should be able to text me an image.
Okay.
In fact,
Maybe it'd be
so
better for an email because it's easier for me to do it with the email, if that's okay.
well, okay, so you can still, yeah, okay, so I'll try to I'll put it up on screen. See if
Okay.
you can just send me a regular text. I don't know if you can do it while we're talking, just like a text message or something.
Okay.
But otherwise, if you got a pen, I'll give you my email address.
Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
get a pen. 1
Okay,
second.
go ahead. Yeah. Hey, Monica, put my email address in the chat, then I'll put it up on screen, y'all.
Oh, sorry if I'm moving about and it looks funny.
No, you good. Hell, go ahead. You good. I'll just talk while you're doing that. But
Okay.
y'all, as you hear his reference to seeing, remember I talked about that early in today, that the guy said that if he, and I'll probably try to find the video. Well, I know where it is, but he was teaching people how to recognize those parasite, or what he called them, but the archons and dark energy, because what happens is you can see it. Now, by you using that camera or the shadows of the light, it changes the probably where the eyes can see. Because he said that you have to look at it and then kind of, like, let's say, focus on a building over here,
Mm-hmm.
and keep your eyes focused on that building, which could be further away or something, and then turn and look at the close-up item, but make sure your focus is still focused there, like out of focus. You're going to then see the dark energies.
Yeah.
Let me put it on screen there, Monica, just to
Okay.
appreciate it. Can you see that there?
Okay. So contact at Right, contact at why the big secret. Secret.com. Okay, I'm going to send you that now. My email address is earlmarkpatterson@live.com.
Okay, so why don't you send that, and then when you finish, pop back in here,
Yeah.
can you do it now while you're on the phone? But just do it and just come back.
Okay.
Just click that same link you got, or I'll put it back in there either way.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, y'all. So this is why I talk about the Illuminati bloodline, the reptilian agenda, and it's one of the things that I decided long time ago to just get away from the UFO stuff all the time, because it's bigger than just talking about something flying around that we don't know what it is, and converting into the area. But if you remember that, the lady was telling me that it was bigger and more than what I just thought. And so it's something that we would have to begin to understand all the way. And I think, just hearing his story, some people will be like, what? No, I'm in this thing all day, baby. I know where we are with this. And it's no joke that, this stuff is real when it comes down to, what we're doing and everything else. Hang on, let me check I'm just going to load the email up so that maybe we all can see. Okay, let me type this in. Hang on. And then I'll get him back in here. 960. There we go. All right. So, and all right, hang on. Boy, this authentic stuff be tripping. 8 high. Okay, boom. All right, so all right, my email is now open so that when he sends, then we are good to go. All right, so I'm gonna add him back. So whenever you're ready, you just let me know. We'll get him back up here. Yeah. Okay. Well, so, all right, let me put the link. All right, so that's going to be the StreamYard link. When he's ready, he can click that. All right, there you go. All right, so, okay, so let me check my email now. And see what we got here. Oh, shit, hang on. We went to the wrong account. What is this thing doing? There we go. Oh, okay. Oh, snap.
You see that?
Yeah. What the fuck? See, I would have got the fuck up out of there, dude. That's real shit, though? For real? Oh, man. Yeah. Now, okay. So now I see well, shit, but that ain't no damn regular reflection, though, bro. You know what I mean?
No, there's no kind of windows or nothing this side.
Y'all, I'm gonna try to bring this on the screen the best way I can for y'all. Hang on. Let me see if we can share the window, if it'll let me do this. You can kind of describe a little bit what we're seeing here. Share screen, share Outlook. There we go. Boom. Okay, so all right, tell everybody what they're looking at on that.
So my partner's sitting there chilling.
Mm-hmm.
I've just took a picture of her. I weren't thinking nothing of it until I looked at, because there's a few pictures I took. And then I was like, well, hang on a minute. Is there something behind her? But it's looking at her. Does that not look like it's looking at her?
Now, where are you positioned with this? Because we're looking at light You know, if I look at more, but now let me back up for a minute. So some people might say, okay, they think it's light from a window, but the problem is it's casting a shadow, not shadow.
Mhm.
It's a formation. So something
Mm.
has to be blocking it or whether. So the picture we're looking at right now, where were you standing? You're in front taking that picture, right?
Yeah, I'm behind. I'm behind the camera.
Okay. Yeah. So that's not a reflection. That's for damn sure. You know, as
Mhm.
far as yeah, let me get this other one up.
And no one reflects light like that anyway.
Yeah.
If anything, someone would be a shadow, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a whole different ball game.
And I ain't technical enough to do no Photoshop business.
No, it ain't Photoshop. I mean, you know, because I try to look at the pillows and all that kind of stuff just to kind of see. But see what people were mistaking it, they were mistaken thinking, okay, maybe that's you know, light, you know, from the window. But see, what they don't understand is the light is reflecting off whatever and is forming the shape of the whatever the thing is behind that. And pretty much, but yeah, that is something. And you're talking about the flash and the reflection, and you know,
But there was no flash.
no flash. Now, was that window open to the right there, so to speak?
I'm going to show you the window. So,
Okay.
so we have. Let me turn my. Oh, can I turn it? Oh, I'll have to turn
Yeah,
around
you can
this way.
turn around, and I'm gonna take this off screen. So, all right, go ahead.
So there's the back door. Yeah.
Okay.
We have this covering the back door.
Okay.
So it's covered like that.
Okay.
Okay. Then you have this window here,
Okay.
but the blinds were closed.
Okay.
So this is what it freaked me out. My partner didn't believe it, but then she did, and then she was like, "Don't talk about it no more," because she don't want to feel scared in her own home.
Mm.
So we haven't spoken about it together since. But it's been bugging me.
Now, do I have your permission to show the pictures to a couple of people?
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, and I think, you know, our common eyes is going to make us look for reflections because that's all we know. But when these entities and things hide in plain sight, or remember, it's the bending of light is what we can't see. And that's what the person that was telling me in the videos and stuff that I was talking to about why we can't see. And you know, while there are some people who are gifted enough to see auras around people, right? They can see the auras around people. So that happens all the time too. I'm going to show Courtney because Courtney draws. I should have brought my picture. When she draws and she does her reading, she sees light like that around people. She draws those images. In fact, let me put it on screen. Y'all can kind of see it. Actually, it's in the backdrop of this picture. Okay, so y'all see the picture on the middle row?
Yeah.
Okay, when she did my reading, that purple was me, but behind me, those three lights was what she picked up and as the psychic of spirits that was behind me. And look how that looks, almost similar exactly to what he put. She drew that. Okay, so on that third row in the middle, that green, the purple is me, and then the three spirits around. So yeah, so I'm gonna let her see that. She'll see it in a minute and know and own it. You know, she's gonna be doing readings in our private area next Thursday. Man, it'll be good. I wouldn't tell you to do that, to have her sitting there. And then, because she can do the reading while her there, you know, but I wouldn't set nobody up like that, you know.
Yeah.
Because y'all wouldn't
Do
like.
you know that it's 5 to 5 in the morning here? So my missus is fast asleep.
Look, she turn around, look at you, and be like,
"What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?"
I wouldn't do that to her. Jesus Christ, she'll never sleep for a week.
You know what I'm saying? You be like, what? What did you say? Oh, honey, I was saying, what do you want for dinner? You be like, hell no, what did I just hear? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm
So
gonna show her the video in the morning, innit? When she wakes up, I'll show her this so she can.
yeah, so we're at the 2 hour and 50 minutes. So that lets you know exactly the timestamp when you go back to show her this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just remember we start talking about this at the 2 hour, maybe 45 mark or whatever, and then she can kind of because it'd be something interesting to look at it and just kind of see. Other people have questions. I'll put them on the screen here. She's saying, was it there off camera? If it's not supernatural, if it's off camera, I would be trying to make a shadow puppet and I play with demons. All right, well, maybe somebody taking it funny there, but you know what I'm saying? It is something to look at though. Someone else says, I always told to be careful with light people or angels, light people and stuff. Someone else said maybe it's energy when it comes down to that. Sci-fi fantasy, who's been given some good stuff. It's the
she's hoping it's her nan watching over her, which I hope it is as well.
Oh, she think it's who?
Her nan.
None like a
nan, her grandmother.
Grandmother. Okay. You know, sci-fi girl, fantasy girl, you got your camera. Why don't you come on up? Because you've been saying some good stuff all night. You know what I'm saying? But I jokingly once said this one time. I was gonna date this girl, and she could see, she would talk to dead people or whatever. And I jokingly one day made the joke of, I would hate to be with this woman doing what I was doing, and I'm thinking I'm taking care of business, but she's staring. And then I go, well, what are you looking at? She said, your grandmother is standing there. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? My grandmother. And she said, you go, boy. You know what I'm saying? Your grandmother's telling you, you go, boy. And I'm like, well, no, tell my grandmother she got to go to the other side. And I'm only saying this jokingly because just when she just said she's standing over, because that means that's a 24/7, 12, 365 watch. Because these spirits are everywhere. Now, I will say this because when my father passed away, true story, I felt one night I was laying in the bed, he was poking me, he was tickling me. My father used to do that anyway, but when we were little, but he was poking me, and I was like, no, hell no, And the next morning, my daughter came downstairs and she said, I think Papa was in my room last night. And I said, what are you talking about? And I try to play it off because I already knew I just had the experience tonight too. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? And when she started talking, I was like, oh shit, yeah, this is going to be a problem. But I do remember that I was running into a financial problem and that next day, because of course we was trying to bury him, was a whole few things. And I was sitting at the grocery store in the car and I was like, Dad, I don't know where. And once again, I start feeling the poke. I'm like, what the fuck? So I reached down, his wallet was sitting there, and I started going through his wallet, and it's probably why I got the habit now. But I went through, and then there was all these little $100 bills, real fold up in there, enough to what it's like he was telling me, here's that money, this is all I got left. Get, put me in a can or something.
Yeah.
But I got pissed off when my daughter came again the second time and said, I think Papa. So I started saying, I got on my knees and I start praying. And I said, I don't know why he's not able to get to the other side, but I make a promise, whatever I need to do, whatever I'm going to do for humanity or whatever. Because at that time I was just hustling, doing some stuff. And I said, I will do what I do, but give him passage because he can't stay here. And I'm saying, Dad, I'm sorry. You can't stay here. I need some fucking sleep. You know what I'm saying? My daughter needs some sleep. But I was still dead ass serious about the prayer, and I was on my knees, and I said, whatever deal I have to make, give him passage. He cannot stay here. And sure enough, that was it, right? You know, so I believe that there are trapped spirits in between, so to speak. Because this is why we have ghosts. This is why we have ghosts. And when people see them traveling through the walls, and if in this ghost that been there a long time ago, what they not really realizing that they need to go check and see, has that house been modified over the years? Like, let's say now that you live there, did they change and build rooms? Because usually that ghost is traveling the path. That's why they can see it going up, flying up. There may be stairs there 50 years ago.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And that ghost is all it knows is to travel that path that it knows, or all of those things. And so, like I said, I believe it. And I believe that it is things that, you know, we have to look into. And like I said, I'm going to share it with Courtney tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then maybe
this woman that said it's a reverse shadow. Right? I don't understand that. Or what does she mean by that?
I was hoping that she would come up and talk to us. And but go ahead, and if you can answer that, what you meant by that. Let me go back to her thing here. Sci-fi fantasy girl. Yeah, you know, bring it out. Tell us what you know, what's going on. And but yeah, so it I don't know what she meant by that, but hopefully she would explain in a little more detail or something. But she just said it's not a natural phenomenon. I don't think it was either. I think my first senses, as soon as I felt what I saw, I didn't feel, even though I was looking for reasoning, looking at the pillow and saying, oh, blah, 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 but still light is going to trap that light. So that energy could have been big. It didn't have to be just sitting behind. It could, wherever we saw was wherever it was coming from. But like you said, that window was covered because there wasn't no light on her.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It wasn't because otherwise that same light would have been reflected on her, you know, period. So, so that's something that I don't think everybody, you know, I'll put it back up so that people can see what I'm talking about.
Because if that's a reflection of her, it don't look nothing like her. Or her shadow.
No, it doesn't. So, so there it is on the screen. So if it was a reflection, even the rest of the walls and everything else, even though we can kind of look up and we can try to dissect it a little bit. But another part about it with MUFON stuff, we can do photo analysis and maybe enter it into one of those systems, and it'll do like those reverse coloring and it'll kind of show some stuff. But again, I would love to send it to Courtney tomorrow and let her check that out and stuff, because and let's go a different direction real quick with it, Earl. How are you feeling about all of this? You know, let's go with you.
Or me.
You dealing with it. You live there, you know.
Oh,
there we go. Look. All right. So
it's
welcome.
Hi.
So, we're glad you're here. Thank you for, is it, how we pronounce that? Is it?
Aisha.
Aisha. Okay. So tell us a little bit. You've been saying some good stuff all night. Just want you to know.
Thank you.
So I'm glad you're here. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about you, and then let's go into his thing.
I mean, I'm a sci-fi fantasy fan, but I also do a lot of research on just, you know, the paranormal. So yeah, when I saw the picture, I said, I also went to school for like engineering, so I have a little bit of, you know, science knowledge, a little bit of science background. That if you take a picture, like light and shadow don't work naturally that way. You know, you would see a shadow behind somebody, but that thing is the opposite of a shadow, so that doesn't seem natural to me. And you know, and for something to form the shape of a person, if light was reflecting, it wouldn't reflect in the shape of a person. Light reflects
that caught my attention immediately. Like, whoa.
If light reflects off of something, it's light disperses.
It's gonna be luminous, right? Luminous,
right.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't form organized shapes like that. So that looked weird to me. And I know it's it being light kind of seems okay. Maybe it could be a positive thing, but I guess you could go back to, there's this verse in the Bible. I'm not a super religious person, but by their fruits you shall know them. So like, okay, if you're saying that things around her has been negative, the energy around her has been negative, then that would lead me to believe that this thing is negative.
100%. And not her nana or nan or
Right,
whatever.
exactly.
Right.
Not her grandmother looking
Right,
over her.
right.
It might be comforting to her to, want that to be the truth. But if her energy is negative and, her light, has been negative, then I would just, that makes leads me to think that that thing is sucking her energy.
Yes, and that's exactly what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. But like I said, I felt that I'm just doing a timestamp here because I'm gonna crop this part of our thing. Not crop it out, but we'll
Yeah.
do
Whatever.
something with it later.
Do,
But yeah,
do you feel it's a good idea for me to get the house blessed
Yeah.
and her blessed?
I would try anything I would try anything I could try. if I had a feeling that something negative
but
is
wouldn't that
affecting
cause
my
a
loved one.
problem though? Because the entity is in her, and then next thing you know, he's getting choked during sex. You know what I'm saying? I'm just,
Right. Don't
yeah,
expect a fight. Expect
a fight.
there'll be some resistance.
Yeah, yeah. So
This thing doesn't want to go away, and if it knows that you're trying to get it away, it's not going to be happy.
Yeah,
But you
because
still have
even
to try.
sometimes when she's asleep, it feels like she can't breathe. She's struggling to breathe.
now is
Yeah.
that what is that called? A succubus? What do they
Yeah,
call it?
succubus, incubus.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
There are frequencies that you can find on YouTube that promise to help get rid of archons or parasitic entities. You could try those things. And you
Okay.
could also try spiritual baths. There are all sorts of recipes for them. I think they do help.
Okay.
Salt,
Mhm.
has been used by all sorts of different cultures all over the world that
Mm.
it's claims to be it's cleansing.
Yeah.
I could probably help you write a recipe for some spiritual baths if you can get her to take. She's not gonna want to take a spiritual bath, but you can trick her into taking a salt bath with bath salts.
Yeah,
She won't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
I
that.
don't mind running her baths anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you gonna have to put that. Well, I'm sure you're doing all kind of shit trying to get past that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Shit, you singing Lou Rawls. You'll never find.
Oh wow.
But I'm just saying it's people. This stuff is real, but it's hard for people to. Now, where are you located? Say that name again, Aisha. Right?
I'm in New York.
New York. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So, now are you from New York all your life?
No, I'm originally from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, because I hear the accent. So, what
Mm-hmm.
would be your take on this whole phenomena from your culture of growing up?
Mm-hmm.
Aliens, UFOs, just like what you're seeing here. So, is this something that you've always known about growing up, or again, it's just from you doing your research now?
I said there's a mix of both. There's different. Definitely there was folklore. There was a folklore of different cryptids or whatever in our
Or the
culture.
duppy.
Yeah. So that was also a part of our culture, but it was kind of like the mythology. Each culture has their own little mythology of different cryptids. Things that existed in the forest or things that flew in the sky by night and whatever. And they were thought of as mythology, but some people believe they were real, and you'd know somebody who experienced an encounter with something. As far as UFOs, I have an uncle who said he saw one. So but then you wonder, oh, is it just a cryptid he saw?
Yeah.
But then if you have a somewhat religious upbringing, then religious upbringing will kind of give you awareness of things like demonic entities and whatever. But I mean, I'm also a sci-fi fan, a big Trekkie. So interest in, interest in science and UFOs and the intersection of what is real and what is myth
Hmm.
and what is fiction and what is, fact.
Hmm.
You know, having a curious mind and having an interest in these things, I try to have an open mind when I look at all
Well, I
everything.
mean, you have to,
Hmm.
especially when you're dealing with this. And my guess is from when I study, how, because there's a lot of people in the chat saying, "Oh, use some crystal, use some sage."
Hmm.
I'm under the belief that that simple stuff don't fight off some of these shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
it's
I have
it's.
black tourmaline.
Hmm.
Yeah, which one?
So I always wear black tourmaline. I
Hmm.
have I bought one for each
Yeah.
child, even my granddaughter and my partner. And then
See,
we have a big one in the
look,
house.
here's my protection. I keep it on right layer.
Hmm.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
But yours is a bit bigger than my one.
yeah,
My big one I lost, but I was told if you lose it, that means it's done its
It's
time for
done.
you,
I
Yeah.
when I
and
put it
maybe
on
it's for someone else to use now.
the day I got it, I have never taken it off for nothing since I've started learning, especially now that I created my protection sigils and all of that stuff and started going down this route, going like, whoa, man, this stuff is real.
Yeah.
And once you go down, it's not the rabbit hole. You're just going down to a little further reality.
Yeah.
You have to believe this stuff exists
Hmm.
because it's now started. It's no more where somebody. Let me stop using the word belief. You got to know.
Hmm.
People be like, "Do you believe?" No, I don't believe shit no more. I know. I know this stuff is there's some weird stuff out there. I can't tell you exactly what it is all the way, but I know it's a higher force at work than where we're walking around to, on any given day and everything else. And so I think it is pretty much you have to understand that there's elements on Earth that blocks this stuff.
Yeah.
And even when you look at, if y'all both remember a movie called Spectral, y'all remember seeing that?
No, I never
Where they
seen.
have to
Where
put on their glasses and they see
they see the
the
spirits,
army guys. They see
the army guys,
the
right?
yeah.
But the only way that they protect, there was the kid's father who had been passed on, figured out that there was some elements that we have that he spreaded them around this building, and the spirits, energies, you couldn't see them until they walked in that metal stuff, the shavings or whatever,
Hmm.
but it was
Hmm.
too strong that the energy couldn't get through, and it just blocked them. They couldn't
Yeah.
get through it.
Hmm.
So, and it was a great symbolism of saying that there's, and people couldn't see those things with the naked eye, right? But all they knew, something came up and just knocked the fuck out of them. Boom. Excuse my French, Aisha. I know I've been cursing while you hear stuff. But the whole point is, when they put on the spectrum, the glasses allowed them to see
Yeah.
stuff that we normally couldn't see. And there was bunches of them fucking spirits everywhere sitting around. And it was like weird stuff, man. And I just thought it was pretty. All right, so let me try to figure out how to connect you two, because you said you can give him
Yeah.
a
I can give
recipe.
you ideas. Hey, I'm not some expert. And the
Hmm.
fact that this thing is visible to us, it says to me that it might be powerful. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
Wow.
You
See,
know?
that was when I was trying to say it and not say it. Like when everybody was talking about sage and all, I'm like, no, dude, no, that one there,
Yeah.
that
It
one is showing energy for
it's
real.
showing
Yeah.
itself to our in our
Yeah, yeah.
on our
Hmm.
dimension, which says to me it has enough power to do that. So you're gonna need
Hmm.
more help than what I can give you. But at least, I'll give off with the knowledge I have, and that's the best I can do. But
Okay. Thank you
it's a
very much.
beginning, it's a
Oh,
start.
we got King Simon in the house. He's up.
Oh
All of
yeah,
y'all
then he
know.
might know more than I do.
King Simon might know some stuff.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
he might need to hit up in his chat. Simon, I'm gonna put the little link down in there. And if you want to pop up and get in on, and I'll take you back to this conversation and show you some pictures that we're having up here. But yeah, I think again that it's a powerful, these entities, and because like I told y'all, when I was in Oregon and they took me up in that mountain, and she sat me down first, again, told me about my soul contract. And when I finally got comfortable, I said, who are you? Where are you from? And then once they get through the thing, but the thing she said, the message I have for you, you have to be knowing that this is not extraterrestrial stuff that you're dealing with. And that people are under the illusion, not the illusion that is all that it is. And she said, no, it's other spirits and demonic spirits and different stuff that are huge. And so that goes all the way back to the Vatican, where we know they're summoning spirits. They do it all the time. They just did it New Year's Eve when they opened up that dang on portal thing. And then, of course, this whole 3 days, we've been talking about the mind control of the Illuminati. He says he's not able to come on at this time. All right, cool. But what we talking about?
Portal was opened at Christmas?
Christmas or New
portal.
Year's. Portals, yeah, New Year's Eve.
What's that, CERN?
A Vatican portal.
It was a Vatican portal. The Vatican portal where the Pope opened up this portal, and there was people there, cameras and things, but you can almost hear the spirits that was coming out of this thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and so it was pretty much, and I think that is what is coming and happening in real time, and then we have to know that it exists. You know, that this possibility of these things exist, and of course we do know that when we're talking now. Again, when we talk about the Illuminati and satanic worship, I want people to understand when we hear Beyonce and all these people worshiping Satan, satanic worshiping Luciferian and all that is definitely different than exorcisms. Okay, well, what gonna need for this shit over here? Okay, because we're not talking Satan stuff. We're talking demonic exorcisms and all of that stuff, spells and magic, magic and things that needs to happen that's far beyond the religious ideology of things that they are doing, because it's things in other realms that are powerful deities that are out here and they exist, period, just plain and simple. And that's why I showed those other pictures and stuff. So now I see you got lights back there behind you. You got a podcast?
I'm so sorry, but I need to get ready for work. I start work at 6 o'clock.
I know you early. We're gonna get you off, and then I'll get her information or get her to get my email, and then I got your email, and then I'll send her these photos you sent me.
Yes, please.
That way she can know whatever she's cracking up, it's gonna work with that thing.
And if there's anyone else that can analyze, help,
email. Did you put a telephone number in the bottom of that thing?
Oh no, but I'll re-email you with my telephone number.
Do that, and then I'll text you and stuff as well. All right, brother. Thank you. All right,
All right,
before
thank
you
you
leave, Aisha, real quickly, I see cameras back there. You do a podcast or something?
I would like to, but I'm too shy.
Well, you did damn good tonight.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Thank you for bringing me on.
Well, no, it's good because we're a community here to try to help each other and do things. And when you do have knowledge and you're able to help people, then my thought of asking that question, not only because I see the stuff, is that it may be your time, to begin that journey, because we are in this time frame, so to speak, to where these deities and things are getting bolder.
Yes.
And stronger because the negativity or the energy, and he's not making that up when he's saying that he can feel that energy, and he knows it's not the same person.
Mm-hmm.
He knows it's not the same person, and it's all of those things. I just don't. Yeah, but I wouldn't think you should be shy. You're doing a great job. So, what would you talk about?
Okay, thank you. No, I just wanted to do a show on sci-fi and fantasy.
All right. Well, real quickly before you go, sci-fi. When you're talking about Star Wars or stuff like that.
Everything. Yeah, everything in the genre.
People asking, "Are you single?" Don't answer that question. You don't see that, do you? Don't answer that.
No, yeah, I don't see the chat right now.
Yeah, don't look at it. So. Yeah, they're saying, they're not saying nothing bad, but they're just saying some good stuff. But
okay, good.
That's good. No, nothing bad. All right. So right now my email address, and I would love to, if you got a pen somewhere, write it down and then send me an email, and then I'm gonna forward you the 3 or 4 other pictures that he sent too. That I did.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll
Get a
forward those to you.
pen.
Oh, let me find it and I'll put it on the screen. Oh, well, you can't see the chat. I'll call it out.
I can. I can go back in the chat.
No, you won't find it. Once we hang up,
Oh yeah, once we hang up, it's done.
Yeah, it'll be
Okay.
gone.
All right.
Yeah. So it's the contact CON
CONTACT
at
at
whythebigsecret.com. So 4
okay.
words.
Yeah, whythebigsecret.com. Okay.
Yeah. So just send me an email. And let's see, it's 11 o'clock here. So he said it's 6 a.m. there. So he's 6 hours ahead. And then of course you at midnight then in New York.
Yeah.
And you're not by Canal Street, are you? Because I'm trying to get some fake
No.
Rolexes. Oh, okay.
They keep shutting them down.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I've been trying to
The
get a hookup for 3
designer,
years.
yeah, the designer. People feel like they're losing.
That is on my dream list to just walk down Canal Street one day and just see some shit.
It used to be. It used to be great like 10 years ago.
Oh man.
You could go down and just get a Hermes bag.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have some hookups from really people don't really know, like when you like what was it called, the Tiffany stuff. I used to get that for some friends, but I had a girl over in Cross Seas and she used to go through their markets and shop with her phone, and then she'll say, "What do you want?" And then you see it, and then they trustworthy. You send her the money, she'll send you the stuff. And when you start getting it, you notice that stuff is so legitimate and real. It's like those companies sell it on the black market because it's like maybe a stitch or something wrong. It's the real deal.
It's the real deal. And guess what? Someone blew their cover recently. Like they went to Italy and they actually use Chinese labor and sweatshops in Italy to make them.
Yeah, and see,
So
the
the
stuff
people selling the counterfeits are actually real.
there you go. And it was real stuff, but she was sending with the labels, the receipts, the everything. And I'm like, what the hell? But it's just the fact that the laws don't let it come into the country because they're protected by the copyright or whatever it is. But they sell their stuff out the back door over there, just like anything. But it's pennies on a dollar. But when it gets over here, it's a $10,000 purse.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the New York, like the New York justice system is for the wealthy. So when the designers made enough ruckus, they sent a bunch of cops down to Canal Street and shut everything down.
It's bad.
That was about 10 years ago.
Oh my God, it's bad because there's a video surfacing here in Dallas that there was like a flea market and it was somebody told them that the ice was coming, and man, it was real. It was so sad how all those people was running and pulling down their stuff, trying to close up their shops to get out. And it's like, they're just afraid, of course, of getting deported, but it's the same thing when you hear, some of these flea markets. I used to be at the Traders Village. When they come in there, man, they raid these people. They come in. And
they did massive raids in Chinatown some years ago, and it's never been the same since then.
Yeah, they're just trying to do that. All right, so you got my email address. So just send me an email, and
I'll send it.
Yeah, and then I will reply to it, and then I will definitely, like I said, send you the exact stuff that he sent me. And then we can just kind of go for there. All right. I appreciate you coming up, and
thank you.
And if you need any help, I have a thing called Tube Tribes. It's a private group that I'm just helping some new people become podcasters, and I'm not charging anything or whatever.
Yeah, I would love to join because it's something I want to do, but I'm shy.
All right. So, well, it's confidence or competence breed confidence. And once you're competent in what you want to do and say, the confidence is already there. You won't be shy. So, but we'll get on that. So when you send me the information, then, we'll get in contact, and then I'll just guide you through some stuff and setting up the channel and all, because you got the stuff already back there. So you might as well use it. Yeah. You might as well use it.
Thank you so
much. All right.
Much.
Appreciate you. Okay. All right.
You. Bye.
Okay. Earl should be asleep. He said he's going to sleep, right? So let me close that studio for him. But yeah, man, it's one of those things. I think that what somebody said, Roderick, please, or Roderick. What happened? Was I supposed to say something to her for you or something? What? before she leaves, what was it modeled by Chakar? What did you want? She might be still watching in the chat. So what was it? You said I'm about to go to New York in a few weeks. Y'all tripping. Her IG. Oh, I don't know what her IG is. But she's gonna have a podcast soon, and we're gonna help her. So when she does launch the podcast, I'll bring her into the fray. And just like the other people, God's Clove is gonna be doing his. He's just been slacking. Well, actually, he has his YouTube channel. We not got to get him structured. There's a couple other people, but once we get everybody ready, Damon was going to be my co-host. He just, left my ass in the curve in the wind. This was last year, y'all. So let you know. And so I'm a solo act now. He taught me how to be solo. So I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I got it. And I appreciate him kicking me over the plank and doing that. But yeah, it's one of those things. And pretty much she's going to be floating in the chat. Yeah. But other than that, is there anything else we want to discuss a little bit tonight? It's 25 minutes. We didn't do an offering in the sanctuary tonight. If y'all want to, let me put across the screen. Y'all know we are a community funded show. And so, keep the lights on. Y'all saw the lights flickering and shit. So that could be the lights and stuff, just flickering and all that. Let me see where Cash App thing. There we go. Yeah, we're a community show or whatever. It's not, but so it's just things that you have to do. There it is right there though. If you find any value, you want to support the show tonight, you can. Pretty much. It was a great, just having what I like best is giving people the courage, or they having the courage, and some of them are first timers, that they come in on our show, because we make sure everybody feels comfortable here. A lot of shows you're not going to get people, or communities. Let me use the word communities. They just don't feel comfortable. But when you encourage people, and y'all give Earl a huge shout out, because he's looking for answers. And when people are looking for answers, that's where we come together as a community. We have to. And when you have like sci-fi fantasy girl comes up and like I said, I'm shy, but she broke it to help someone. That's a good spirit, right? That's good energy. That's good things when it happens, and pretty much. And so I think it's something that, Earl needs some real support, because he's dealing with some real shit, right? And it's as a collective, we all can reach out and try to figure out to get him some answers. And I'm going to pull what I know, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much. And just like she said, I'll give you some remedies. And that's why I love what I do. And I love the trueness of people that come forward to really help people, because it takes a real big heart of people when somebody's dealing with some non-human shit. Okay. I probably can get any of y'all to help me fight my neighbor, right? Y'all all to come over here. I say, hey, man, we're going to fight at 3:00, Sunday, if y'all can make it to Dallas and get my back. Some of y'all will be like, hey, man, I'm in the car. I'm on my way. Hey, man, we finna fight a demon and shit. Say I need y'all to be here at 3:00. What? What? 3:00 to fight a demon? What kind of demon? It'd be like, what kind of demon? A demon? Shit, I don't know. Shit, some shadow people and shit. Remember I told y'all the shadow people exist. Remember when I was there, the person said he's with the shadow people when he walked up to me, right? And so all of this stuff is real when it comes down to this stuff. But it's like, hey, man, we finna fight some demons. Hey, we need be like that movie Transformer. Bring everyone, yeah. But it's taking a toll on him. You can feel it, man, because he doesn't know what to do, because he's the worst thing, y'all. And listen to me real closely when I say what I'm about to say. He's in love with a demon spirit that has his lover, right? Now y'all remember that, I forget, she used to, and man, I should know, she was coming here before, but, she talked about how, she, alien would come or spirit would come and have sex with her all the time. And remember, we used to kind of joke about it on Freaky Fridays, right? But he's got a problem, because love is that, remember we talked about earlier in the show, love is a strong thing. And now we talked about the reptilian stuff, and he's not, when I start talking about this mind control, and I start talking about all these deities over the last few weeks, I've got a lot of people in the audience come forward, people call or emails that I'm resonating with them, things that they couldn't really talk about that they're dealing with. And I pride the fact that I'm willing to go down the road or doing something. And that's why, again, when we start talking about that uncensored stuff, then we can really go deep and help people or say some crazy stuff, you know, and help. Because I wanted to give him some humor too. You see, I was doing that. You can tell he didn't laugh about some of this stuff before because it's serious to him. I added a little humor in between because that's me, but that also I knew, you know, because I could have took it a whole different route, could have scared him even more. Like, what the, you know what I'm saying? But my heart wanted him to know that we're with him. And I, like I heard, I believe he believed, but in this case, I believe what I was looking at, that there is something anomaly there. But then his story was so surreal. And then when you got kids feeling shit, they don't make this shit up. And when you got kids feeling that stuff, you got a problem. You got a problem. You get kids talking to spirits all the time. You think they're in there playing with their doll and shit. You better go in there and ask them, who you talking to? Well, I'm talking to who? Right there. Who? Right there. That big green motherfucker right there. You know what I'm saying? You can curse, tell daddy what you talk, that green, you know, so you have to know that the kids know, man, they be knowing because they got the peer. It's when they get older. That's why you get kids that are reincarnated. They know the stories, and by the time they start getting older, they forget because the system blocks all of that stuff out. So you have to do that pretty much. So I just think it's something that we have to look at and try to understand and pretty much. But I don't know. All right, y'all. So where do we go from here, man? I mean, you know, it's our time, you know, and you know, we have to look at. Let me look and see, man. Oh, damn! I didn't know my cash out work. Nobody testing it tonight and all that. That's cool. Oh, but we did get an order, shirt order. All right. So what did you order? Let me see here. No, Noctis, the protection hoodie. You know what? Okay. And truth is our weapon. So, all right, he got the shirt. Cool. All right. So cool. Appreciate it. All right. All right, then. All right. So, yeah. So y'all have to really think about those things and see, you know, what is happening and pretty much from there. And I don't know, man. Did y'all get anything out of tonight's show? Anybody? Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that you definitely hit the like button and share and, you know, all that stuff because we need that, right? Hit the like button, share, and we'll be back, you know, as always, Mondays and then Tuesday, Wednesday. I again, like I said before, I want to do a little more into the reptilian stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just really do. I want to just get more into yeah, hang on, let me stop this. Okay, there we go. I'm just trying to do something here. Yeah, YouTube Studio. Let me go there. Yeah, and if you hadn't subscribed to the channel tonight, can you go ahead and do that right now? We're trying to get to 25,000 subs, okay? And if you hadn't subscribed to the channel, can you please go ahead and hit that subscription button, please, so that we can get that and I can watch it right now, go up. You know, we're probably 16 people from 23,000, which we was 300 or 400 short the other day to hitting that. So we're doing pretty good. But if you are watching me now and you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to the show. Put in a chat so we can welcome you home anyway, even though you watch us and all those things. And just, you know, make sure that you do. And I will be much appreciative from there. If you have not gotten your gear, like I say, I'm wearing, again, our mascot is Luminous. That's the owl, the color red, black, and white. The shirts, when I send them out, y'all going to get your luminous on the shoulder. And when you represent a brand and you represent that brand that's talking about what you do, that let people know you part of community and everything else. I got a lot of different shirts and stuff there. I'm putting the other ones back up with the new branding. And if it's stuff that, we're going to do, I got some other designs, but the main thing is that we're going to come out hidden strong. So as a poll, what do y'all think about talking about reptilian stuff? The three things that I wanted to counter focus on, which covers everything, is the reptilian agenda. The reptilian agenda sends us into political, the world elites, global control, all of this stuff, mind control, manipulation, and all of this stuff. Of course, me with the Symbolizer as my trademark, going into ancient and modern day symbolism, and that could be things in plain sight, corporate stuff that kind of encompasses that. Then the other part is the Illuminati bloodlines that I just want eventually next year, this channel will be the destination, although we're going to vastly talk about many other things. But I think it's truly time to really focus into the reptilian agenda, because a lot of stuff is showing right now, right in our faces, from the politics to what they're doing, the New World Order. It's something hovering that has been there, but it's all about power and all those things. And so some parts tickle the reptilian in me. Okay, great topics, great. So, so what do y'all think? I want us to be a destination and be different, but I want y'all to also be proud to share the channel and content. But again, as I said, and I say it all the time, we're going to have some guests, but they're going to be in an uncensored area and stuff there. So we're not oh shit, man. Every time you about the only one, man. Okay. So yes, I have a birthday, right? You know what I'm saying? I got a birthday coming up. I'll be 55. Okay. And I wanted a birthday gift. Okay. And let me show y'all. I'm just going to do this right now. Thanks to Glow's Clothes, man. He be on it, dude. You be on it, man. I appreciate you, dude. You be on it. So I'm gonna put this on screen so y'all can see. Right here. Let me just show you. All right. So there's a link in the description, takes you to my birthday. So far I got 4 supporters. I thought it was 3. Okay, so I got 4 supporters now. Oh, thank y'all. Heather, Steve, Jamako, and Celia was the first one 14 days ago. Last year it worked out really good. This year I'm not getting as much love as I got last year. Last year we worked it. We got the gift. Even though I'm showing it right there, it's just that little drone, but this is strictly for when we get out. I'm hoping by March, not only I'm in better shape, but with the Dallas crew, we're going to be getting out. We're going to be doing these churches with these steeples. I can send the drones up, all of that stuff. So it's just a dream. Again, of course, I know I got to make it happen, right? But I was just hoping, and that's the last part. After that, we got our cameras. We got all kinds of stuff to make things work. It's pretty cool. But anyway, I appreciate it. But that link is in the description. And, Tina says the same day. Okay, well then we got to get you a gift too. But anyway, that's it right there. So the link is in the description of the video, but also Glasscove is putting it right there. I'm going to put it right here. Maybe somebody, give to it right now, and then I can give you a thank you, and maybe not. But anyway, don't worry about it. Your time is also important here too. So you just come in here or whatever, y'all don't have to, make my birthday come true, but just make yours. And everything else, I'm not saying it for you to be sorry and stuff, but a dream without a plan is a wish. You got this. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think I will. It's a special thing. Again, to look back and where I've come and where I've gone and what I'm achieving at this point and what we're going to achieve, I'm really excited about that. And pretty much, but my goal is to build this channel so that we grow this thing, and then YouTube funds what we're doing, then I don't, then I'm helping other people too, right? You want to help people and you want to do this stuff. But again, you can support the brand through the gear, through the clothing, and if you don't see something you like for whatever reason, hit me up. Let me know. Let me make something special for you. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure everybody win, at the end of the day. But I am now sold on Luminous in our red and black white look. And I'll put some other stuff up. I had somebody brought the owl shirt the other day, so I really thank y'all for that. And I'll put some of that stuff back up, but I'm just trying to change it around for the branding purpose of what we're doing. And truth, like I said right here, truth is our weapon and authority is theirs. And so it's a war. We're going to have our own battlefront and everything else. All right. With that being said, it's been a plum, pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege. It is, 21 minutes to midnight. That means we would have been here 4 hours tonight. So we're here 3 hours and 39 minutes. And there's time we done been here 6 hours, right? And we can do it. And but I think tonight being strictly where we were, focusing on the show, where we at, and everything else. Sci-fi said the reptilian symbolism in so many ancient civilization and religious traditions, and where there's smoke, there's fire. There has to be something to it. Yeah, and I'm into it 100%. I've spent hundreds of dollars in the last few months on all symbolism books and then reptilian, and those are the three things that fascinated me the most. And the tricky part is sci-fi. It goes a lot into religion. And so most of these books takes you back to religion. We need to find out where they at walking around and all that kind of stuff. But there's knowledge in searching for this stuff and pretty much. And so don't forget to email me, sci-fi, so that I can send you his stuff, because he's going to need your help. He's going to need all our help, to be honest with you. That's for sure. He's going to need all our help. All right. Oh, Sandra, I got your email. If you're still here, the neighbor being RH negative. Cool. I'm going to give them a call tomorrow. I'm just checking. You sent it earlier today. I'm just clicking on my emails. And pretty much. But yeah, so yeah, it's something that we all have to do and pretty much in doing that. Let me take down this Cash App because it's not working tonight. So let me turn that down. Boom. There we go. All right. So, all right. You'll send me an email tomorrow. Cool. Don't forget. All right. So, and with that being said, each one of y'all, man, I love you. I really do. It's Valentine's Day still. So if you haven't heard Valentine's, I love you, each and every one of you. And to my haters, like I always say, I can love you without meeting you. But if you're here hating on me every week, then you're really a fan. You're just critical, and criticism is not a bad thing. Okay. So we'll just go with it anywhere else. So I hope y'all had enjoyed tonight, Friday night together, all of us. We all must be either single or in relationships that we can all spend Friday nights together. But let's get more people. We need 300 people spending Friday with us, 400 people, 500 people, 600 people. When I'm over at Forbidden Knowledge, sometimes it's 700 people watching me live. Over here is 100. So we got to figure out how to get them over here, right, and all that stuff. So we can do that and pretty much get things together. But again, y'all all say goodnight to Damon, because he would have been the co-host here with me last year, and we would have been well organized at this point. But again, I'm glad he kicked me out. I'm glad he didn't join, because I got this now, Damon. I appreciate you for giving me the wings and the confidence. No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, we got to get that algorithm. We got to figure out a way to get me into that algorithm, man. And it's difficult. Our views are picking up a little better, but it is a little difficult trying to figure it out and keep it going. But I think we can, I think we can pull it off. I know we can pull it off, right? Yeah, I know we can pull it off and do some stuff. All right, so good night. I'm out. Good night, y'all. We'll talk to y'all. Maybe older folks. Older folks do what we like. Doesn't matter, single or married. We like you. All right, thank you, Nina. Older folks with the Yeah. Well, I got my haircut. You know what I'm saying? I got my haircut. Yeah. Yeah. So we're good. I'll be back on Monday. Let me put up the schedule for you. So if y'all hadn't seen it real quick, here's the schedule Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. Monday, I'm here at 8 o'clock. Then I'll be back here on Tuesday I'll be on Forbidden Knowledge live. I used to upload, but I'll be live on Forbidden Knowledge. And then Wednesday, I'll be back here. Thursday, we'll be in there. Courtney will be in there reading this Thursday. So if you haven't got the membership access, the all access is the one. And then Friday, we'll be back here. So make sure you turn on those notifications and all of that so that you get the notifications of what we're doing and everything else. So make sure y'all do that. So I'll see y'all Monday. Let's do it.
Peace and harmony. I think we're being set up for something very serious and very big by some very powerful secret societies that very well could have extraterrestrial or otherworld intelligence guiding it. I am very fearful for the world we live in because we bought it hook, line, and sinker, and all over the world we have accepted the authority as truth rather than truth as the authority. It is going to require intellect, knowledge, study, and making a stand for the first time not to accept the things which your government gives you, which your religions give you, and which the authorities give you. Because as far as I'm concerned, I have a very big problem with anyone called an authority, because they're always...